You want to start? Oh, what was I was saying? Must touch things. We must touch.
Must touch. Well, guess what's hilarious to me?
I mean, not too long,
Blue
but
power.
I just
Everybody's
want to talk. It's a
realized.
long time since we talked.
Sorry, you remember a thing there, blue power? When we had a whole thing in the group about blue power. Remember
We're recording, sir. Yes.
the thing
Hi
that,
guys, welcome to earnings season. I'm Randy at RT Row.
and I'm Danai at H Danai.
As always, been a long time since Dan and I actually talked, so you catch us mid convo as always. And
yeah, man. Gems and gems and gems. We hope.
yeah, you're saying,
Oh yeah, man, blue power. So blue power. Remember they had the circular with the Lombard split and how they were going to go about it.
Yeah.
So, who did upset me? Sean, Philip, boy, no really did hurt me that day. We were having a long conversation in the group about the split. I can't remember what exactly, but I know I was asking questions things that would seem obvious to me. Me and you had conversations about the things that would seem obvious about the nature of we're getting rid of this element on our books. We're giving it to shareholders or whatever, and we'll be compensated for it, right?
Pause. Just quick pause. Martin, you have a lot of conversation from before. How long were you recording before?
7 minutes.
All right.
Easy to call.
Yeah, I don't want to call it. It's like I like those small things, those good smaller conversations. I know it's good content. I just don't know how to do it yet.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, sorry, you're saying. So you're looking.
Yeah. So we're looking at how they're going to go about the shift of the
how they're going to reorganize Blue Power.
Reorganize
yeah,
Blue Power,
and how they're going to compensate themselves.
So the net assets will be traded. So net assets to get paid back for it and whatever. So I was asking in the group, which day they were trying to speculate, but not proper speculation. Okay, go through the facts on the exactly what is happening. So we know the effect it will have on the numbers. So when the numbers come, we won't be surprised. We can decide from now if the price of Blue Power is reflecting the value from this transaction, right? So we start looking and say, all right, cool. So what effect will this have on Blue Power's coming results? And I guess I go around, they're not really, I think this was when the prospectus was out too, but they weren't really understanding the way it would move off the books and it would affect them based on the ownership, based on the actual transaction when we lose, when this company is no longer held by us, right? So I was we were trying to go through that, and the coming numbers, the numbers that came recently, those dropped for November numbers, was it?
I'll look it up.
Yeah, the most recent numbers, they did reflect exactly how it happened. So they recognized it as a sale. The sale of lumber.
Because you have to recognize the movement. Because yes, they're selling the assets. Well, because they have agreed to be.
But guess what? We get back the next assets, which means we give you something, you pay back something. You take the liabilities and assets, and you give us the value and recognize it as sale. So it's there in the numbers, and so yeah. Our next Virgin, I was surprised he didn't pick it up because I know he really looks into it. Works with me. But the thing is, we never had the conversation, so probably he never was looking out for it like that, or I'm probably just busy. I don't know. But yeah, he said to me, I never knew it was a sale, but what I was still waiting on, I said to Chadwick and thing there and Alex, because Chadwick asked me about Lupo one side when Khalila was tweeting about it. Big up Khalila Reynolds.
Big up to Khalila every time.
He saw her tweets right before the IPO, and he was just running through it, and he picked it up. But he had seen that I alluded to it in a group. So, he just said to me one side, we're all three of us were talking. And he said to me one side, and I said, and when now the results come out, I just said to them, I kind of wait on the guys in the group to pick up back that conversation. And see
them follow up with research.
So I didn't really answer them when they
R&D,
said, do them like Randy to do me. We have a conversation. I'm not going to bring it to the information. I'm going to suggest, the most I'm going to do is ask questions to suggest what exactly you should be looking for. And if you come to me with something, then yeah, we can talk about it. But I'm not going to spoon feed you and throw the answer in your face. And the coming results can answer a lot of the questions. The results that we had as well can answer a lot of the questions that they had around it. And I think it's a question that most people have, because I really haven't heard people speaking about it more than so.
Ask
the
question,
actual nature of the thing there.
Of the transaction.
Of the transaction.
Yeah. So what did you see it as? Break it down, because people listen saying, then I stopped. Just tell us.
A lot of people still don't know, as I realize.
You know the market already.
That we think there.
Until somebody write about
the way it.
I should probably do that.
We shareholders of Blue Power at the time got lumber.
Mm-hmm.
But they literally said, all right, so the whole company. So before me and Randy had speculated on it being exactly the way MJE was done, it's close, but it's quite different.
Because and you see why? Finish yours and I'll fill in, because I know
why we had that expectation. It happened before.
Yeah, and we're following the tracks.
The news around it at the time is very much the same.
Well, you know my style already. Big up your employer.
Yeah, man. Big
up Mayberry.
Big up those guys at Mayberry.
Yeah, big up those guys at Mayberry. They really do know how to structure it well. So that's why, because we saw from a team that we're used to, a set of actions that we've seen before that we know usually imply something, or the details we got wrong, which I don't mind. I love that. I love getting wrong, because I want to learn more. Exactly. And I see them structure it as a sale. I like that. And no, I interrupted you. So finish your point.
Oh yeah, that we shareholders actually got the whole company. So if you own Blue Power at a certain date, then you have the company.
August 1.
August 1. Yeah, then
2019.
The company is yours.
Yeah, exactly.
It's no longer Blue Power's. It's actually Blue Power had no interest at that exact moment.
Exactly.
Because it's their shareholders. So their majority shareholder would have had majority of the company. It's the same exact ownership structure.
That makes Blue me Power think I need to go do some more research. Because in that moment, business works linear, How did they do that?
What do you mean?
Was that dividend? How did they consider? It was a dividend in specie. So the dividend in specie is that I am giving away this entire arm.
So I don't think they need.
And people ask me why I respect them. People ask me why I respect Mayberry. People ask me why I respect Chris. Oh my God, that's good.
That's why we never got the same type of notice that we got from Mayberry when the dividend speech. Because Mayberry gave away 10%. They gave
10%. They were giving her a piece. Exactly.
Are yours, like everything.
Yes, is yours. Exactly. Which is why the main shareholder, in order to get second actual cash compensation in the IPO, had to sell some.
Because I don't own. I own a company. And I'm not exiting in the way, so I have to sell a piece.
Yeah. We've never spoken about.
And I like that Blue Power has taken a stake back in number based on the prospectus.
They did say that.
They did take a piece back.
They said they take a piece back, or they said that they intend or they may.
But we speak about intent and may already.
Say it again.
You're right in our prospectus, then you're almost certain you do it.
Yes, but again, the legal minds will remind us that may doesn't mean that you're certainly going to do it, but it means I reserve the right to do it. And they did reserve the right to say that they're going to take a stake.
I very much think they did it.
What kind of stake you think them take?
Prospectus. So I can't remember the number exactly right now, so I was going to ask you. So just run that and tell me the stake.
Guys, we need to get Danai a laptop. Start a get Danai a laptop fund.
So go fund me, guys.
So. Go for. I can set up something on the website and you guys contribute to the Danai laptop fund.
Imagine we're here talking about money and stocks and can't buy
that. I can't. Oh God, man. Oh Lord. You need somebody with privilege to help. Yeah, to help with privilege. I'm going to actually set up the fund, and I'll run it. It's near December now. Somebody can get it as a Christmas gift. Present. Yeah, I'll match whatever they donate. So if you guys donate $250, I'll put $250 on it to US and buy him a $500 laptop, so he can look things up himself. So both of us can look things up. Yeah. Oh, how did your girlfriend like you asking for a platonic?
Did you read? I don't watch that one yet.
Nobody don't tell her nothing about it yet.
I don't know.
I can't. Because
boy,
I can't wait till she see it.
She gonna laugh off of me.
Did you show her the rich girlfriend video?
Huh? Yes, she died, bro. She died.
Yo,
she died and then KMT.
Yo, I'd like to insert it, but then I'm sure that's going to hit a bunch of. Not the wrong way, just content rules and all of that. I don't want to get into trouble for that, but I'm going to link it in the show notes so people can see that. Rich girlfriend.
It's a guy running a tune on the girlfriend he wants, a rich girlfriend.
Yeah. Anthem. What's a guy where I fly first class? Yo. So, here's me being silly this week. So I hear the tune, right? And it's late one night. I hear the usual chat group forward. Yo, I love this tune, blah, 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 right? Me, overthinking it as always. I go, yo, I rate the youth. Don't want to forget some sort of forward. I talk to our Benjamin Shoutouts and say, yo, try to get the man some sort of links. Work out something at him on Twitter, right? Mm-hmm. Also, I responded to that tweet about 5. I've not deleted that many messages in a long time. I tweeted a response. I like it. I unlike it. I think I retweet it. I unretweet it. I respond to it. I respond at you. I think you say, yo, send it to them people. I delete it. At her, and I say, at your girlfriend, I say, yo, certain people tell me say I should have sent this to you. I delete it. I say, yo, Twitter is so touchy. I don't want.
You don't.
Yeah, it's so easily misinterpreted. I never do it. Yeah. But then I start going into the tune.
They don't know us, but they'll send me.
Exactly. I send it to you directly. Yeah. So, I listen to the tune though. I'm going through the words. I'm like, yo, okay. I rate him. I hear I think him have a future. In flow, I rate the flow. And like, it's the usual Jamaican thing. So you get a good rhythm and everybody puts something on it. But the way him lyrical ability up, but the way him flow really, him have one a cartel flow them, you get me? Him have one a cartel. Feels so dumb. It's just cartel. It's literally just cartel and Scotch Earth. I said the next day I think he was like, what's just Scotch Earth? I play Scotch Earth and I play it and I've never been let down by somebody and myself that quickly before. It's like
regular thing, it keeps the man flow so you can.
Yeah, I mean, big up the youth still.
Big up still.
Big up the youth. I read.
Good message, sir.
Yeah.
Not the bagger girl part, the rich girl part.
Yeah, the rich girl part. The rich girl part is a good thing, and he's right. That's the rich girl and don't want a poor man either.
No, not even poor girl want poor man either.
Everybody want a rich man these days.
I mean, nobody. If you really think about, nobody should want poor anybody to be. No. Let me not say that. Let me not say that.
That was Danai speaking. You guys asked for Danai to speak more
financially as possible.
Yeah, man. Say it again.
Your man be rich man, no. You don't want a poor man. I wouldn't encourage. All right.
No, keep going. Yo, again, guys, that's Danai.
I've never encouraged any of my friends to say, boy, say, that brother they poor. Take him up, man. Take him up. Nah.
Wow, Danai. Wow. You don't believe in love?
Oh, yeah. And I believe if you love somebody, you should get rich so you can love them better.
Yo, pick up Danai, girlfriend. Yeah, shall be under pressure. Get rich so you can love. That's true. But before all that,
I think if I was poor, I should. I'm very poor, so you better be talking.
Bam. But yeah, big up the Jamaica Podcast Network and the owner.
Bam the boss. My girlfriend never. I don't think she's ever cared about how much money I have. But she understands, say, boy, I want to get rich in life and reach a certain place, and we can do a lot of things with that money. So she likes that. She likes to drive, but I don't think she. I really know. I know her. Like she don't really get up and care about that.
And that's good. And it's good to be able to not have to get up and care about that, which is the real sin of poverty, that it takes over so much of your mind and your time.
You start making money and then that comes in.
Yeah.
Some people don't care, say you're poor. And they don't care that you're not they don't care when they're poor, and then they start get money, and then the money start hit them the wrong way, and they start thinking about where I am and I need to do this, and then you start doing other things like nothing. Don't put you in a good place.
I guess so, which is why I guess people fear the whole women who look for men and consider their compensation, meaning how much money the guy make as part of the decision. But I guess realistically, I have to do it, especially these days.
Imagine, think about that. I always think about the costs of building a family. Like, I can't left I don't want to move out yet because I don't think I'm in a place where I can fully afford that comfortably. I want, because I invest hard. I want, if I move out, then I have a lot of money coming in outside of the living expenses, so I can invest that freely. Equally, I don't think I could, in good faith, get up and marry my girlfriend right now, because
you can't have the.
Imagine we start living and everything, and then that happen. Like, I don't have the money left over and anything there where we can put towards our future and build up, make the money.
Yeah.
So, nah.
Plus, you guys have lives to actually live at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so which costs? You want a house? I'm sure you unless you're not gonna live with your parents or her parents, which is out of the
Well, still in a Lindsay moving.
Alright, so
Maria moving to your parents, right?
Wow, and get called a cruff by everybody for the next 10 years.
No, the way around that,
Stop listening to people.
No. There's a better way around that.
What's the better way around that?
People okay with it. So you act rich and then you just call it a family home.
Wow, you sounding mad cruffish, bro.
No, trust me. I'm sure you've heard it. No, we live at a family home. It's a family home. And
yeah, I've heard it from Crufts. That's not true. No, that's not true. It's so funny.
People don't know. Actually, I heard from other Crufts. Generally, people don't know that some of them are Crufts. So them get away with it.
Yo, don't make nobody, good life advice, don't make nobody run into no financial big decision ahead of your time.
You know where you are comfortable earning and spending, so you put yourself in that place to be comfortable.
Yeah, man. When you're there working out your budget,
you realize... Randy come running up on top when you forget rich.
Yo, don't include me in that. You need to get rich people, don't listen to him.
All right, so, I'm fine everybody getting rich, but I know some people, like...
Everybody can't get rich. You want to talk about that?
Maybe.
No. Finish your point, sorry.
Not everybody really wants it. Like, it's a good net to be, it's a good safety net, but there are a lot of people that are, I never thought, but I found out there are a lot of people that are comfortable earning and spending at a certain level and for the rest of their life. And I always thought, yeah, man, say that no, but you get rich. Things change. A lot of people like them, they're very cool where they are.
That is true. That there are a lot of people who are very comfortable with where they are, and they.
Those are people. So I'll tell you, to get rich for a rainy day, you don't have to be rich, but invest, put the money somewhere so you can make something for yourself. So if anything happens, then you don't fall in the face. So
yeah, that's one way to think about it for those people, and that's good because most people are looking just for that, right? Safety net, safety net and a little bit of fun. That's it. Yeah. The problem I think with people like us is, we know how much a safety net and a little bit of fun costs.
And we know
how hard it is to get that amount of money.
The real safety net,
Yeah. No, not even a real, just
man.
A straight up safety net. I think all the time, I know this is a wrong kind of mindset, but because I grew up poor, I think from a position of what can go wrong instead of the things that can go right. And that's a limiting thing. That's one of the sins of poverty. That's one of the things that it hits you with. I don't think of how great can this be. I think of how bad can it get.
You know what it's all like? A bad investor.
Oh, wow. Power.
You start looking at, the downside of this.
That's
and you don't look at the upside. So you start measuring the goodness of an investment on the less bad and not necessary. Hey, maybe this can go really right, and things are in place for it to go really right. It start, you know this happens, so I not touch it.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, but then what we do is, fear is the mind killer. Please.
So I found that funny that you said that when in reality you don't invest like that, but you probably the end goal of your investment is
very much to that. But then you see what happens when you get some money is that you pass the point where that, like, you don't have to be worrying about that. You're not going to be broke. Yeah. And at that point, that kind of belief becomes limiting. And it limits how far you can fly because you've been running while looking behind you the whole time.
Imagine you have 100 mil safety net, an next 100 mil at risk, and you're making 100 mil this year. Like, you can just invest that next 100 mil, but boy, you just go keep building that safety net, because guess what?
You can't lose it. Worse if your lifestyle appreciate. Yeah, if your lifestyle go up, that's the killer. That's the secret to everything. Manage the expenses.
I've learned that. I spoke about salary increases and everything, and
HR call you?
No. Nah. Big up HR. HR cool, bro. But where I was super budgeting while I was at my old job.
Oh yeah, when you were starting out.
Super budgeting.
Yeah.
New job. It was less so. But you start afford things much easier than you thought, like much easier than the day before. And I don't spend a lot of things. But I was looking for a while. I thought I was in, I admit this lifestyle appreciation thing. really hit me. And I realized that I'm like, no. Like, it never really hit me by that still, so.
Oh, because you're just being hard on yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, to me, I thought, boy, but nah. I was investing more money than I was before. And what I was spending wasn't significantly more either, so. But when you start doing it, you say, boy, something I live. Yeah.
Boy.
But big up, it's a good thing to be able to afford more. So if you find what you like.
True. But it's an even better thing to be able to control what you buy, even though you can afford it.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
Thank God I can do that.
Oh, that's good. That's a good skill to have. That's a good skill to have.
Things I haven't bought. So today again, I put on Twitter about the Jeep thing, about buying a Jeep.
Yeah, you gotta load up the thing where people start load. I see a lot more Jeeps these days.
Oh yeah, me too.
People have gotten richer.
Yeah, actually. Yeah. But to me, oh boy,
it's painful to me because every day I run low on my excuses to stay in my little banger. God, I love that banger.
So yeah, I'm looking for a Jeep at a good price, but I'm not really finding a Jeep at a good price.
Yo, go starter, get a nice Jimny, lift it yourself.
The man with the poor goals.
Yeah, blood. No, I didn't want to stop me with them big hit the dog. No. Wow.
Sorry.
I like.
Randy's cheap but not cheap.
No man.
He more the Jeep, you know. But he's gonna hurt
of course
himself and not buy. I more buy a Jeep the same can.
Because I can do more. All right. Good Jeep lifted, factory lifted.
There's no reason factory for Jeep still. Those lift yourself.
No, well, if the factory lift it comes with certain factory tolerances, that can be good. That can be good. Or you can get.
It's a Jeep. Their model are fully like you're fine.
All right, cool. I go wide, my usual wide, but proper wide angle tires, lifted heavily. So, old Land Rover Defender height. But Jeep body, nice, look great. Ballpark price, Jamaican dollars.
Too much.
Yeah, give me a number.
Give me the year.
It's factory.
Oh, so brand new?
Yeah.
Oh, nah, bro. We're talking. Oh, here and the money different from.
Yeah, it's a question. Questions are cheap. I ask you a question. How
2019. So looking at Rubicon, it was around thing. There's like a sports Sahara, probably like 10. But Rubicon, you're getting that proper Jeep with everything on it. We're costing around 13
mil.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like 30.
CMT.
No way is it 13. No way is it 13 million Jamaican. From KIG?
My brethren talking to KIG to buy it. So I went on to KIG the other day.
1-3 Jamaican? No way. No wonder there's more of them.
Sport. And 13 mil. He asked for Rubicon, and Rubicon is obviously more expensive. And well, 3 mil more. He said 13. They tell him 13 mil for Rubicon.
Jamaican dollars?
Yeah, bro.
That's base model.
No, Rubicon is top.
As in, no way.
Yeah.
That's why there's more of them.
10 other day for 10 mil. I was talking to them down there at KIG because I really was just I need to go look at some Jeeps. I want to go look at them close up and And I went down there and the guy thought I was buying and
yeah, that money look, bro.
I told you when I asked him, he told me 10 plus a little bit. And then he asked me, like he just told me not respond really after the price.
And he's like, wait, this guy must be poor.
he's like, we're waiting for a thought. He's like, usually when people come here to ask about a Wrangler, they're ready to buy a Wrangler. And I tell him, say, nah, now the money they steal, but are you kind of looking at the used ones? Probably somebody in a good condition. But my issue is, so I want to find one good condition, used, and not necessarily modded. But everybody tried to charge an arm and a leg on the Jeep. And they try to charge head, foot, shoulder when they mod it. Yeah,
because to you, the person whose Jeep it is, you love it so much that you put the emotional price in it.
You go buy this part and you put on it.
So,
but the funny thing is, one of the things they warn you about when you're buying a Jeep is two things they warn you about is rust and mods.
Would you see that's why I say in factory mods? Because I want any mod to come from the factory that way with the factory tolerances.
You put on this fender, everybody do the beef up on the new thing and
they
try to charge more for it. So that's my issue with buying one. Like I look out for it on Mailpac.ja. I see a 2011 on JA cars, green one, 4.5, bro.
All right. So let's get into that. So 2011 Rubicon again.
No, it's not even Rubicon.
Okay.
And the
So
guy mad it.
standard. All right. 4.5.
I wouldn't pay 4.5 for an 8-year-old car. 8-year-old
So 4
vehicle
mil.
that comes at 10.
Yeah, I was trying to remember why I was going to ask you. So for me to buy like that at $4 million, right? That means I have to be comfortable taking up $4 million and putting. You already know I'm not doing that. I'm not taking up $4 million and putting in no one. You must be mad.
Exactly.
I can't do that. All right, so fine. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna take up $4 million and I'm gonna buy Select F with it or NCB or JMB. Jamaica Producers instead. $4 million Jamaica Producers, right? And then I'm gonna take a loan against the $4 million and buy the Jeep cash. So the cost of the loan is whatever the cost it is for me to use it, the collateral of $4 million worth of Jamaica Producers shares now, I believe, and it's like a 10-year loan. So you get, let's say you have a good banker, 8-9%. A better banker, I'm sure, will get you much better than 8-9%, but you are nobody. You're a poor man like me that them don't know. But you have the $4 million collateral because it's Jamaica Producers shares. Your cost for that vehicle every month is the cost to service that loan, whatever that is, right? And then of course it's offset by any growth in the Jamaica Producers shares. And so like if I did that right now, end of 2019, by end of 2020, I think the Jamaica Producers shares will be maybe double easily. I think they're heavily undervalued. So now I have allowed the thing that I use as collateral to pay for the loan that bought the vehicle. I can sell it at the end of it. So I think it'll be up 100%. It means that, and during the year, by the way, Jamaica Producers said I'm going to pay a dividend every quarter, which is also going to,
And they're a very heavy cash collecting company.
And they are, because they're in distribution in Europe. Jeez, you're wet. By the way, that's how, for the people listening, that's sort of, I would even call it higher level, but that's leverage. That's smart leverage in my view. So the thing, that's why I used to get so annoyed when I see people saying on Twitter things like, or not just on Twitter, on any social media, just saying to crowds of people going like, you know, how don't leverage or how dangerous it is. I mean, I'll say it's dangerous, but of course, so maybe I didn't pick Jamaica Producers, maybe I picked something silly, or maybe I just picked something okay and it just didn't really move. Maybe I picked Cygnus. Cygnus is worth at least double what it's worth now, but maybe it's just not moving.
So much more.
It's literally worth double its price currently. Its price is what, $20-something?
So maybe I have the low PE.
Do they? Yeah, Mayberry's PE have it at 10.7 times. Wow.
And it's a loans company. More money we have, I think we say it already. More money we have, the more money we lend. The more money we lend, then the more money back to us. That's profit. That's revenue.
Which is why
the market loves them because they interact with them. The industry loves them because they interact with them. And their industry loves them because they're servicing a lot of people that have been crying about being underserved by the banking sector.
Yep.
And they deal with cash. So they're a dividend paying company.
Yep.
So
heavy.
Yeah.
Dividend paying company. And this from the guy who's
saying,
I don't care about dividends.
And next thing I probably
but
never
I
said
switched that thought, no.
probably never said that thing there, right? Never again that episode where I talk about PE. PE.
Sorry. Go.
PE
Go ahead.
for a low PE on a thing there, on a cash, on a cash rich, a cash intake, a high cash intake company speaks to a higher dividend because we're at a point where most of our profit is cash. Which means what I'm paying out is cash, and I'm buying the dividends at a lower price when the PE is lower. When you buy a lower PE,
that's a consideration. Nice dividends.
That's dividend discount model. Yeah, basically.
Yo,
how cheap am I buying the dividends of this company?
The future dividends are exactly. This company is probably always going to pay a 3% dividend. What is a 3% dividend in 2 years? Based on my current yield in my personal dashboard.
And your current yield is based on the profits you pay for it because the dividends are paid from profits.
Exactly.
So, a low PE.
I was screwing around with the dashboard model, my personal dashboard model. So I added just a couple, not for myself, because I use it for me all the time too. I test it with myself, but this is what I want people to see, like the next version, and I integrate that in there. So the PEs, there's a couple of things, but downsides make the thing heavy. So all that to say, I was looking at it, I realized I told you 10.7 a while ago, 10.7 times for the PE, and it literally just clicked to me. That it really is. Like I say it in my mind, the gut feeling that no, I know Cygnus is much lower value than it should be, but it's $23,
and you remember the
and it's worth roughly 40, 45 in my view from long time. I never realized that the PE supported that.
If you look at the thing in there, look at the things they're doing now. That's great. Like
Their
they're
dividends
bringing in
going
more
in.
money and they're looking at new business.
I see them said it what is that I'm looking for a new loan. They're
Say
raising
new
more.
loan, probably equity, private thing there. Big up David Rose. He messaged. I didn't go to the AGM, but he knows I'm interested in that company. Every now and then, like if he hears something about it, he updates me.
Me and David supposed to start from when I don't. Well, that's my fault. So
So he must start. He was thing there. He was at the AGM. I think he was watching the AGM, and he was telling me about the things they want to do, and like in terms of the cash raise. And Cygnus has only raised more money when they have more money to lend. That's to me. That's good.
You mean something to put the money into?
Put money into,
They don't seem to raise
exactly.
blindly. Yeah.
We're not gonna sit down on the cash.
Yeah.
The whole point of the IPO, they upsize to around double what they asked for before. I know the valuation decreased by half.
Yeah, because they upsized
Heavily.
yeah,
because
50%
guess what? The pipeline is strong, and they've proven it now that the pipeline is strong because they've lent out all that money, and we need more money. They're going to double the capitalization on the company. They're going to double the capital in the company with the next raises they want around. Yeah, so imagine that. We raised X money, we made some money on it, and the capital is at this. And we have a pipeline that justifies getting double that.
And the pipeline has consistently returned multiples of
Exactly.
itself. Not multiples of itself, but a percentage of itself as cash.
Yep.
The thing is, I think people just have I was going to say they forget, but I haven't heard anybody else really talk about it. What SCI is, what is Cygnus Credit Investment? It's an arm of a group, a private group that is doing heavy things. And they just allowed us to participate. And of course, they benefit from it. But that's why they have to pay heavy dividends.
Yeah.
Because they only exist to serve a bigger part of the group that's not listed. And
that part of the group, guess what it does? It structures deals and loans.
Exactly.
So you need a loan. I can go to you, sort out how best you can get a loan without mashing up your business. Because you are already afraid of the bank coming and taking too much of a percentage.
Or you don't like the terms, or the bank say you need X, Y, Z, or you're too risky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're in that middle ground handling the risk. So they're actually doing something needed for Jamaica.
Yeah.
But I think maybe they might be on the bigger side. Who knows? Maybe people now have to be paying more and more attention to the small and medium SMEs.
And the way them do it, the people definitely have to pay more attention.
Well, I think that's an economy. Without that, there's nothing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Even America acknowledges
that's
we
heavy
are economy built on
yeah.
and power.
Yeah.
Money need for spend.
Yeah.
So and for money to spend, we need to have the economy running with SMEs coming. Like entrepreneurship is one of the best ventures a country can support because it builds us. We need more. So thing there,
GDP building. Yeah.
And what's the name? Cygnus really helping them out. So they structure a loan, right? But they're not the bank, so where money go? They don't have deposits to lend out. So they make special purpose vehicle, which is Cygnus Credit Investments, what we own. But we can borrow money, let's ask the market for money.
Yep.
And lend it out and give them returns. Why not?
Or create or literally a special purpose vehicle that allows people to always view the outcome of our loans without getting full details on what it is, right?
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
And if you look at things,
it's beautiful. It's a great setup too. Much respect to those guys for building that. My team down there at Cygnus, who I've never met.
One of the things that David mentioned is they indicated that their interest income will be growing based on the way their structured products will be maturing in the next 2 to 3 years. What that mean to me? Okay, so we lend the money and we do some certain things and everything good.
We have a payoff coin. Remember their mezzanine.
The money don't reach it.
Remember their mezzanine, so they usually have those
equity
payoff
stakes
dates.
in there,
yeah. And at this point, I either get a lump sum payment or we own something nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Something could kick off.
And they have,
part of my payments
profit
an
share
IPO.
agreements. They will be in profit share agreements.
Which is how they get dividends, because it's really pass through dividends from their investment stakes. Yeah. For the long
we're
term,
relying on the loans and we're relying on the profit.
So maybe I put my money in Cygnus for the 3 years to buy this Jeep, right? But in the meantime, you have to be able to service the loan every month, right? And so, of course, every 3 months, 4 mil. Let's say you come in at 4 mil and you're seeing very quickly. What's the dividend yield currently? My sheet show that also,
Look at it. what we paid for signals this year. The dividend price, the dividend
It
yield
splits
was
both.
really nice, you know.
Well, my sheet splits
we start
both.
at 9 and
Personal
10.
dividend yield and then market dividend yield.
So yeah, what you have for it?
My personal yield. It's
Percentage
pulling
for
from.
top.
It's pulling from. Yeah, I don't care. I care because I'm on the podcast. So I don't know what you're talking about. But it's pulling from JSC. So it's, you know what I mean. It's not doing its.
Sorry, I want to refresh.
Yeah. They paid a heavy dividend earlier. I think I spoke about that about our podcast on one of the earlier podcasts. I spoke about it on one of the earlier podcasts. But
what do you got?
Hold on. The dividend they paid was the $0.0042 US dollar.
135. That
it dropped back to that. I thought.
It's around there, 134. But
I thought the world was going to end at 141.
Actually, stop paying attention to.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't. You know me and complain about politicians.
Jesus I hate Christ. Let's keep the podcast.
As in, my complaint is when people politicize things. So when I hear the need from both sides to speak on it in a way that, you know, show why the country doing this, the country doing that. Yeah, come on, guys. We all know what the exchange rate is. Let's talk about it truthfully. Yeah. So, and when other people that they're not support us, our politics, to take it up and make it run with it. I mean, not really. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see that Dr. Andre Horton article?
Oh yeah.
That was funny.
Which
one was
funny.
That? The one where he was decrying the
monkey?
Proposed. I saw that picture. I don't even know what that picture was about. I'll come back to that. The chimpanzee business. But he was saying that a drop in the GCT, a 2 percentage point drop in the GCT, as a proposed 2 percentage point drop in the GCT doesn't make sense. And it don't make sense. He says I'm summing it up here. I'll put the show notes. I'll put the article in the show notes. But essentially he's saying 2% drop in GCT to a person might mean anywhere, depending on what I'm spending, between like $100 and
98.
No, like $1 million. At no great point are you saving any great money. You get me? On your regular day-to-day money, 100, 1,000, whatever, you're saving $20. You're saving $2. Yeah. But the country as a whole loses about 25 billion, I think, from it. So he's saying, is that worth losing to get this supposed small personal gain that people won't really necessarily feel? Because to you and me, or anyone really, well, not anyone, but anyone, maybe just a little regular person on the road, a bill's less or 2 bills at $50, or the patty cost $150 versus the patty cost $155. You get me? It's annoying, but it don't really, really matter, right? But to the country, that $5 matters. And he's like, yeah, why, if it's not really bothering people, why propose a drop when the cost to the country of it dropping would be so wicked? The weird thing was that it was Dr. Phillips who had proposed it.
Oh.
So he essentially had an entire article. He was speaking against something that his party leader had proposed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then, so I don't know if it's
that's
the
not very Jamaican, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, so I go, whoa. And then the Gleaner, I don't know if the Gleaner trying to be troublesome with them write it, but I rated it, but then apparently they said that the government senators were asking why was he saying this when, you know, it was his party leader who had said it, and his response was that it's bait. It's bait. We drop bait to catch fishes or something like that.
So you don't say it so you can respond to it?
That's weird.
Is that the politics? Okay.
That's weird. That's weird.
Let's talk straight, guys. Yeah. But I read that still. But
I read the fact that he would say something that
against.
Yeah, you know that don't happen, right?
Yeah, that's not
that don't happen. But then because it don't happen, what you're hearing is a lot of this doesn't happen, and why was he saying this? And are they
but it's weird,
sabotaging and
is that will be a political point that the masses use. So actually that sucks. Imagine me saying opposing when they're not in power. But yeah. So
that's why the opposition party.
No, but I was saying opposing party meaning the JLP.
Oh,
so I can't. Anyone want to tell that? So it cause confusion.
Yeah.
So yeah. So PMP supporters would usually use that point in a political way to say, oh, but you see, as a point of, oh, we're accountable because, you know, even though Bossy said this,
somebody within it said, yeah.
And then what the JLP would then say, JLP supporters would then also say, oh, yo, You see him talk foolishness, so why am I say I owe him and I say something against you?
Yeah, the politics don't make it. Yeah. It's painful because in something like this, it's something that affects everybody, right? Like I don't even like bringing the politics on the podcast, but it's something that really does affect everybody because it's a proposed 2% drop that would affect people day to day, but also might affect the country. And his point was actually strong
more than affect people.
It might be some privilege on my part. It is some privilege on my part, but I'll pay the $50 more for a tank of gas.
But guess what?
If it means that the whole country benefits more, right? And then I would be hard on the government to make sure that things are better.
How much more gas you get about $50, bro?
Yeah, well, you get what? Maybe 30% of a liter. Because gas is like $150 a liter.
Well, no, you're not going to say 2% drop. 2% not going to give 50% drop, though.
No, the 2%. Yeah, it's a bad example. Yeah, I'm just saying.
If I mean $50 on say you're on when you fill your tank.
Yeah, that's what I meant, and that might be what it is. Meaning the 2% reduction might mean that instead of paying $5,550 to fill my tank, or I fill my tank last night, it costs $6,250. It might cost $6,200.
Yeah,
like that's I don't even know if it affects gas, but that's a random idea.
Yeah.
Like to me, I'm gonna complain about the gas at $6,200. I'm gonna complain about the gas same at $6,250.
Agree.
But that 50 might mean I'm gonna complain about 2 extra roads being bad.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we get so much. Mention on the group, we kind of had a conversation on taxes, and I think we had this conversation.
Talking about that group, the people pressing you to join it.
Yeah, man, people asking.
They bother me to ask.
Do the usual. Yeah, I get that one.
Guys, if you want to know, sorry.
Well, you have to do the usual. You want to know the group? You want to join the group?
Tell them.
Then you have to do a course, and then you have to agree to the entry requirements of the group.
You know what? You want me to put the course in the show notes?
Oh, yeah, definitely do that.
All right, guys. So if you're listening to this, I hope you're listening to a podcast app and not just on SoundCloud. If you just listen on SoundCloud, that's cool also, but you really should get a podcast app. One, it's going to save you data, especially if you are on, I won't say any network names. It'll save you some data though. And 2, it allows you to do lots of cool stuff, pull out any pauses, play it a little faster, remember where you were later on. You don't have to load it. Once you load it one time, that's it. You don't have to load it every single time, which is why I mentioned the save the data thing. So I hope you're using a podcast app. If you use a podcast app, and even if you're not, even if you're on SoundCloud, the information section of whatever your app is, I don't know the app. So if you DM me to tell you, I can't really tell you. And you're probably one of 34 people DMing me to tell them I can't do it, guys. It really burns me out. So please,
oh yeah, the DMs. If I take long to reply or not at all, there are reasons for that.
Because he does have a life and he has a 9 to 5, right? So if you, whatever it is, I'm giving this guide because I want you guys to check the show notes. Whatever your app is, check the show notes, check the information thing beside the whatever the podcast app is you're in. All of them have it. In that, you'll see links, you'll see explainers. Anytime we talk about things, I actually see how many people click these links. I know it's not that many click these links. It means that either 1, everybody understand what we're talking about from a long time, or 2, lots of people even know it exists, so they never check it. Or 3, sometimes I do paste them on Twitter, so people do see that. Anyway, I'm saying all this to say, in the show notes there, I'm going to put the link to the groups, the group course, the group entry course. Yeah. It's a free course.
It's a free course. It teaches you reading financial statements. There's some assessment of financial statements in there, and it's so we can have an informed conversation, or we have a good place to start when you join the group, because one of the rules of the group: no spoon feeding. So this is the best place, earnings season, to hear me speak about stocks. If you think you're going to join the group and then hear me just
they're going to ask you questions. That's what's going to happen.
I don't tell anybody what to do.
I'm so sorry for what's going to happen to you.
I'm going to ask you questions. And it's based on your competence. And the competence would be gained from that course. At that point, if you do the course, then I'm fully thinking that you can, anything I ask you should be able to answer. You can ask me things too. The thing is, no spoon feeding. So you have information that can be gotten publicly, and I don't know it, and I ask him about it. Trust me, the best I can do is just ask me it in a way that I know where to look, or just give me some level of thought on, boy, if I think about this way, then I know where to go.
Jesus Christ, I can see you're going to regret that you said this on a podcast.
What was that?
I can just see the future you're going to regret. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it isn't wrong. But a lot of people ask to join. let me help you with some of the questions people are going to ask. You're going to get out of accountants saying that they're accountants. Can they join you during the course?
Oh yeah, I tell them no. The group. It's also
more than just whether or not you understand the course.
Because the group entry requirement because it's dedication.
It does require participation.
No spoon feeding.
Also.
The group requires participation. We kick you out if you're there lurking, watching for too long.
And you're going to have people who want to join just to hear what you say.
Just attached to the conversation. We're not about that. If you're there too long and you're not really adding to the conversation,
you have to contribute, you have to participate.
You can fully be misunderstood. You get accounts, you can read accounts, but you don't really understand how it relates to the stock thing, and you're asking questions and you think you sound stupid. You're not stupid. You just don't know. You don't know where you don't know.
Yeah, a lot of times. I get a lot of accountants telling me thanks. I don't want to call it.
I get accountants.
Somebody DM me, a young lady actually DM me recently, and she was saying one of the reasons she's thankful, she said she wouldn't join the conversation on Twitter, which I can understand. Yeah. But there are a lot of people, she just reminded me that there are a lot of people who listen to you, but don't necessarily say anything to you. But they do get a lot of benefit from it, and they're in it. So she said, I'm actually an accountant. I get quite a few accountants actually who say, yo, I use this opportunity to learn that I should actually use what I know. Because I know it, I know how to read the balance sheet, I understand how to make a company, but I just wouldn't buy stocks. Whole heap of people who, even if they're not in accounting jobs, they know it, have a degree in accounting, but they've just never actually practically applied it. And listening to this has helped them to get the push. So thank you if that's you. It helped me a lot when I hear it, and you're very welcome. I'm very thankful to do it for you. So yeah, don't think that because you're an accountant, you don't have to do any requirements for that group that I'm talking about.
The group is, we all speak about stocks.
Yeah.
We all speak about, not even the stocks alone. Like if you have a viable investment, and viable meaning it suits X goal,
you're going to get the FX traders, you're going to the Forex guys, you're going to get the Bitcoin guys.
Oh yeah, we've had those guys before in the group, by the way. Yeah, so
please don't DM me and ask me about Bitcoin.
Just make sure
I have no interest in it.
Yeah, I have no interest in Bitcoin or
Forex personally either.
If you have news on the FX market that can affect companies, then sure, just talk about FX market. I want to learn about that, but I'm not trying to be a Forex day trader, so yeah. If you try to convince me on that one. We've had that one. We've had those ones before.
No, but you know what? I'm not going to knock nobody, because the funny thing is how Forex is. I mean, big up Kwame from JMMB for that wonderful episode. People really love that episode, and I like that he spoke a lot about Forex on it. Yeah. I almost wanted him. I'm sure a lot of people who are in Forex would have listened to that, and they would have had other questions that they would have wanted him to speak about, especially when him just dropping the truth about how much people actually make, right? And it's always the same thing, because I've seen some of the messages to, hey, no, I'm in Forex and I made XYZ in this amount of time. I'm not knocking it. And Kwame didn't either. Kwame, I thought, brought a great, clear view. People liked it, and I like that people liked it.
Same view we have. If you make money, how?
Yeah, you should be able to show it. Exactly. I understand it perfectly, right? No. You can get a whole heap of people, I'm sure, who want us to have that kind of conversation. I want to tell you that it work, and maybe want to come on and talk about it. I'm not opposed to people coming on and talking about it, but that doesn't mean that I necessarily want a general, regular, this worked for me for the past 2 months or 2 weeks or 6 months even, yeah? Why I want somebody, you don't have to be in it long, but you have to be so competent that I can hear, because you can pick up very quickly when somebody truly knows what they're talking about and truly comfortable with it. And that's why they're not comfortable, they're not uncomfortable being challenged. And that person I don't mind. That's why I really enjoyed having like a Kwame and him understand him stuff. So if you have a Forex course you're perfectly above board and you want to run an ad for your course on this, and you can prove that it's above board, because I'm not putting a scamming stuff on a podcast, you want to run an ad, sure, you can contact me at earnings@evermickle.com. That's EARNINGS. I almost made all of my English teachers very, very, very ashamed just now. Almost. Sorry about that. Miss Guerra was not an English teacher. She taught history. Anyway, I've forgotten where we were. On our tangent. Oh, Lord. We were talking about the Jeep, and I can't spend $4 million one time buying a Jeep. But a great way to leverage funds to do something like that is to invest the money. I tweeted once, and I still stand by it. I don't want no mortgage. Big up Miss Gilly J. Say that again?
I think a car loan and buy a Jeep is a good price. Why not?
I'm not opposed to using somebody else's money. No. Oh, yeah. Other people money nice. No, perfectly. Of course.
When the 95 pay feet.
Leeching Satan. Leeching was right. Big up Michael Leeching. He's been doing a great job again with our bank.
Of course.
Good job. Thank you for that, Mike. But big up him on his points that he speaks. But one of the great points is use other people's money, which of course, if you're borrowing a loan to do anything, including investing in something, just ensure that the cost of the capital, the cost of the loan, the cost of the money you're getting can be met or exceeded by the cost of whatever you're investing in, or you are able to pay it out of reserves. I personally cannot take up $4 million and buy myself a vehicle. I'd love to be able to, but I can't do it. But I can take up $4 million and put it in Cygnus, SCI, JMD.
You remember, you mentioned JP and...
The Jamaica producers is fired. We can look back on it in a day.
Yeah, man. But you mentioned JP, you mentioned Leeching. So, Leeching...
Empire builder.
Yeah, so Leeching, the thing that's an article about his agricultural venture that he's going to do with the farming, basically democratizing farms. So, I am not a large landowner. I want to farm. So, basically, this guy has a plot. Let me just go on it and farm the mother farm system. Right? And you know who's done that before?
Who
JP.
That? Yeah.
Jamaica producer. And
they in St. Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. You're right.
Two ways. That's good business.
But it's not them alone, but
not them alone, definitely. Because I remember CB. I think CB was doing a mother farm thing.
Yeah, and the co-op model, I think, has existed.
CB does a mother farm with chickens. And I think they were doing it with their mother farm when cotton. When the Japanese were speaking to us about, and Jadef was looking into cotton, then that's
one of the options.
CB was looking into doing it with them. I'm not sure that it worked. They stuck with it, but I know they do a mother farm with chickens. But JP does a mother farm with the things they do. So they lease farming space, and they have people come in, plant, and they supply JP for their product lines on JP land. So you de-risk yourself. So I'm not a heavy diversifier, but I love when my companies are heavy diversifiers because I pull cash from here. So.
Say that one again. I like that, Gem.
I'm not a heavy diversifier, but I love when my companies are heavy diversifiers.
That's right.
Because a strong company, to me, is a less risk when I'm buying it than the company. So when the company itself goes into a venture, if it's spending money all in one place and then things go wrong in that one place and then get choked. But if we generally have people, that's how companies generally start. They have to start in one place so they can diversify. So I'm not knocking that at all. But when a company is diversified and doing well in all its areas and then one place is smashed down, then you have the rest of the areas to pick up the slack. So if they move, so they moved out of, so farming is just out of risk in farming.
Inherently.
Yeah. So if they move the risk off to the farmers themselves that are paying for the land, then the farmer is not a business owner, you know, because the farmer is making the spread on the profits from the thing the profits from what they're selling to JP or whoever they're on a mother farm with. So JP is making X money. They have X money from leases or whatever. Probably a profit share model. I don't know the exact details of how they work out with the farmers, but they guarantee their supply from their own land. So instead of them going and farming it, they basically set up give some farmers some business. Farmer making life and living life. And if you know farmers, a lot of them do really well.
A lot of them do really well. I grew up in the age where I was lied to. I thought that farmers were poor. I remember I was in my 20s. It clicked to me. That they cannot be poor. It was a lie that we were sold.
I know farmers.
Not that they cannot be poor. I don't want to sound. I'm born and grew in Kingston. I'm going to sound dumb when it comes to farming because I'm no expert. But I know that people have a lot of land and access to farm it, and the people who make the food that I like to eat fresh. Those people should not be poor.
I know farmers that are hiding that they're making a lot of money
because of the communities that they're in. So a lot of people are surprised when they find out the kind of money that the big brother of the big house of the road really make.
So them do them thing there. So they move the risk off for themselves. That's an insurance to them by making this guy do the farming. Him owe me supply and money. Anything after that, let him make a business and making money. Good. So Pharma make money, we make money with them. And you know, the best business is when everybody making money.
That's right.
So why not? So I really like that on JP's end. And they're more diversified than, I mean, the KW thing, them abroad with them, juice thing abroad. So looks good to me.
Let me link that gem to another gem. And an example. You mentioned that why you like that in companies, why you like the fact that your company, you prefer when your company is diversified versus you diversifying, right? And it's because, as you say, if something goes wrong, if they get a hit, you are protected from the hit because they can lean on one of the other arms. Great example of that is Blue Power. You realize now with the customs thing that came out, they would have known that, because this is not a secret, right? The people who are pressing like we're pressing know that there's been this fight in the international courts for a while, and they knew that a ruling, they have a general idea when a ruling would happen. So
it affects Blue Power, it does not affect Lumber anymore.
So imagine you are sitting down as a board member. And you're saying, okay, how are we going to handle this company? How are we going to handle this hit that's coming? And you plan the entire company around it. What am I going to do? I made a tweet about it that I found what they did to be impressive. And like I meant that. Like I actually responded a little later. Twitter, pay attention to some tweets now that hit me that I find are good. And what I find after this, like remind myself to, go and respond to that tweet later. Because I think it's good and I still want to get some information out and show how I think of it, and just a way I think it. So these days I have to force myself to remember, say, okay, remember to respond to this, or remember to respond to that. The tweet I made was, it wasn't from me. So let me give the people their proper credit. This young lady's name is Monique McIntosh, and her at is Moni Doll with 2 I's, so MONII Doll. Big up Miss McIntosh or Mrs. McIntosh, Monique McIntosh. Her tweet to me, I had tweeted that Blue Power is dropping the final dot out, right? And it was really just a customs thing, which pretty much saying that one of the ingredients that they use is so one of the ingredients that they use is so international in its nature. Is that it? I don't remember the details of the ruling.
The issue that they basically don't meet a standard anymore.
Exactly.
Or they're now seen to not meet a certain standard. So
exactly. And so that doesn't give them the protection of being able to say, hey, it's such a local or regional thing that you are able to say, and this is other CARICOM countries really, you're able to say that you can give this product to other countries at a cut rate.
Cut rate, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't say cut rate because that have different implications. Without at a
decreased rate.
Decreased tax. There's a tax that you don't get. So now you have to face the same rules as everybody else. Why is that bad? Because Blue Power is like a Blue Power on JSE, while there are sub companies that are multi-billion US dollar companies.
We're competing. Yeah.
We're on the same playing field as a giant.
Yeah, so that giant can cut us out.
Yeah.
We need that mandatory.
Yeah, man, that giant can put a marketing budget that's bigger than Blue Power's market cap. So they don't have the protection from the giant anymore.
And in general, they're spending more. So the costs go up because they're paying more on that thing.
Exactly. So here's how I say it's like the diversification model and how the protection happens. They know that was happening, which has the potential to impact company operations.
And shareholders in general too.
Exactly. In fact, to their credit, and of course,
so they give us the whole company, So we did not lose on that,
Exactly, but I want to make it clear for the people. So I'm looking at Blue Power now, and this is me. I'm going to pretend that I'm Mr. Tanner, the chairman, and he's looking at the company and he sees this possible hit coming. No, you don't. So somebody asked why. That was my tweet, and let me I'll finish explaining what the tweet was. It was a notice from the customs which says that you're going to lose that 40% no tax advantage that you have. You're going to be on the same playing field as the big boys, which is dangerous. They immediately tell us that they being Blue Power tell us that approximately 20% of the company's sales go to CARICOM countries, and the application of duty might make it uneconomical for those companies to buy from Blue Power because the big boys will be able to give you either the same quality or even maybe better at cheaper because the big boys have no issue flooding the market until you run out of money.
The big boys have been selling to us at this at this regular rate.
Exactly. So the thing that was protecting them from the big boys was the tax cut. No, they don't have it anymore because I suspect it's because the big boys have pressured them in court. But no, they don't have it anymore. You have to fight on the same field as them, the playing field as them, and it not working out, right? So you're losing your liquor protection. So 20% of your revenue comes from those guys. What they didn't tell us is how much profit comes from those guys. I'm sure they know internally what the margins are on it. But and I'm sure if you're conscientious, you can dig and see if they tell you in any of the previous reports. But whatever the profit margins are on it, I'm sure they're seeing a real possible hit. So what these guys do, they say, what is my company? It is lumber, soaps, and a little bit of everything else in the hardware business. We'll put that lumber and hardware business together. So it's lumber, soaps. Big hit coming. Lumber is doing really well. Lumber as itself is such a different business from the manufacturing of soaps and the distribution of these things out there. Like, it's such a different business model that we really have always treated it differently, even though we share some space. So here's what we're going to do. I'm a shareholder. I own a piece of a company that gives me money, profits, and potential future profits in the form of dividends and capital gains from a lumber hardware / soap manufacturing company. But it's known for its soap manufacturing. When you ask people, well, you know what Blue Power? Blue Bomber soap is what them say, right?
So imagine Blue Power start advertising the lumber. It just looks very weird.
It looks weird, and people do it, and like you'll have analysts say, well, you know, they're moving away from core. Yeah. So what we do to make it clear, so even though it pretty much is core to operations, what we do then is make it very clear and easy for them and for the consumer. But while we do that, we are keeping shareholder value. So since I was doing it along the lines of the tweets, and I gave Monique her big up, let me read her tweet. So I tweeted out the notice and the 20%, and she said, gonna have to change the form. I think she means, I'm paraphrasing, they're gonna have to change the formula for the soap. But my thing is, there's been a lot of talk about palm oil for years. Why wait until a policy ruling to change? Fair question. Big up Monique for that question. And the answer as I see it is this, that you don't spend money before you have to, right? If my mechanic tell me that, yo, your car, if I buy that $4 million, if my head lick me and I buy that $4 million car, my mechanic say, hey, this car will run exactly like this for the next 3.5 years, and it will catastrophically break down on you unless you change the engine. If you're not really thinking strategically, you're going to go and buy the engine same time because I know you're going to break down on it. But why buy it right now when I know I need it in 3.5 years? Yeah, why spend? You don't spend a
time is money.
Yeah, why am I going to spend
my money? So the money then,
yes,
versus the money now.
Exactly. So why would I spend the money when we're already in court fighting it and we want to see what's happening and I can stretch out my sales or whatever?
Spending money on court.
And guess what?
If they were doing that,
somebody probably worked for that. Hey, our tax break runs out around the same time that we might get a ruling on this thing. So we don't need to get a double whammy, especially when one arm of the company, the hardware and lumber part, is doing very well and growing still, have a lot of potential to grow. So why don't we do this as shareholders? Because remember, the board is there to defend shareholder value. Yeah.
So they gave us the company.
Well, I want to finish Monique's point. So Monique said, why wait until the policy ruling to change? Time. Why would I spend money ahead of time when I might have to redo everything? Or maybe I'm going to set the
money
big
spent
fight.
Money spent now versus money spent then. Money is always valued more in the future.
Yep.
So if I have
potential
3 million no for after, and I have a spend 3 years down the line, I'm not spending that $3 million now on the 3 years down the line thing. This money will go and make some money, and then I'll go spend on that thing.
Which is why I cannot buy a $4 million Jeep no matter what, because I know that it's baked into me, right? However, just going back to your point, the time value of money they would have seen, and it's just good sense. I'm not going to spend that money now when I can spend it later on. And that's literally why they do it. No, my tweet that I responded to that was that obviously we don't know because we don't know what's happening inside that company. But my guess is that they evaluated their position. So they know where they are and they know the time and I know what they do. They reorganized the brace for impact, which is what you were just saying, which is that they say, all right, we're going to break off the lumber company, make it its own thing.
And it's no longer affected by us. And shareholders are no longer, shareholders of Blue Power.
Yes.
Will get this lumber.
The value of the thing that we are breaking off. And we'll make it a little nicer for you because we also give a little reserve on the IPO. And we're giving you the actual shares. So even though there's IPO, you also get X amount of shares in lumber that we'll just give you if you are a shareholder on August 1. So that's the dividend in specie that I mentioned earlier when you're talking about how they do it. So they did that to reorganize. Why? Because that hit might come from the courts. Turns out the hit did come. Guess who the hit won't affect now? Lumber, because Lumber is its own company. So they're protecting shareholder value, and I automatically own shares in Lumber towards the same percentage that I owned it in the Lumber division earlier. There's great value there. Plus, it's an IPO. It was priced nicely, so it's probably going to spike.
So I'm going to appreciation. So I own Blue Power, right? A shock is coming to the Blue Power group that I own, right? Let me put a part of this company away from the risk of the group. Then, me as a shareholder, will own exactly that little piece that I used to own, and that little piece will no longer be subject to the shock from the group.
Exactly.
And I price it nice. So very likely it's appreciation.
It's priced to grow.
In that thing you just got. Yeah, exactly. It's priced to grow. Big up Mayberry every time.
Consistently. And they tell us all ahead of time in very clear language. Very, very open there. And they never waste no time. It's not a big IPO. There's 70 million in terms of real, what I call real public, general public, 70 mil, that done in no time.
Short order.
Yeah, what people got like what? The base of what? 2,000 units? That's allocation, 2,000 units. Yeah, so the official allocation is
around 9 something percent.
Yes.
Above what they own. So what I applied for.
And 9% above that, whatever you apply for. And never waste some time. Open and shut the same day. Remember, guys, another gem. Treat the opening date like the closing date.
Oh, you know what's interesting to me next thing too?
What's that?
MJE is the second largest shareholder in Blue Power, if I remember correctly. With the switch, they were the second largest shareholder in Lumber because everybody owned the same amount.
And everybody got the same amount of shares and the same amount of ownership. Yeah.
So
that's how we as shareholders were compensated.
MJE will see appreciation on the Lumber part that they owned, that they didn't spend any extra money on getting because they already spent the money to get Blue Power way back in the day.
Exactly.
So they never heard about the news and said, oh boy, someone jump and go buy up to the second point in Blue Power. Blue Power was a good company. I held it from way back when. Made some appreciation on it. I'm second largest shareholder. I didn't spend any new money this year in being the second largest shareholder in Lumber. So to me, you look at that, just one day there'll be some more money in MJE because the appreciation of Lumber when it lists. MJE now will be happy with that. And if you look at the thing there, if you look at the composition of this, I haven't calculated the composition of MJE, the weightings of the individual things in MJE since IPO. But if you look at the composition IPO time, around 50% was SVL, around 30% was Blue Power, Class F, ROC, and CPJ.
As so their portfolio companies.
So they were heavily weighted in those four companies. 30% of that.
Well, the portfolio companies didn't include SVL.
Yeah, man. So I'm saying half was
smart.
Half was SVL. 30% was those four, and around 20% was the other stuff. Everything else. So 30%. So a part of the 30%, which looks to me like a heavy weighting. So for argument's sake, the 30% is the four. Around 7.5% of the thing there.
30% is a third of a company. A 30% is a third of everything. That's a big amount.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's 1 in 3.
7.5% of that $1 billion company was held in Blue Power. So that value is now, they get those exact shares priced at $1 on thing there. In what do you mean again? In Lumber.
Oh yeah, because they just get it automatically. Here's my question: do they recognize it as a portfolio company now?
I don't know.
They might not, which means that their fair value through profit and loss must take a big jump once they recognize the IPO and then any IPO results.
Stop. Why?
They recognize if they don't recognize it as a portfolio company, where do they recognize that? Where do they recognize it? They recognize that just one of the holdings in the 20%, right?
That'll be thing there, so that'll be comprehensive income.
Exactly. Oh wait, no, they recognize through OCI. Everything else run through OCI. Okay, in that case, then no.
So they get an.
You sure about that?
Based on my interpretation of prospectus. The portfolio companies were the profit and loss companies.
So yes, the prospectus companies are the profit and loss companies, and then the big dog is SVL, which doesn't come through the P&L anyway, which I thought is a great deal because what comes through the P&L is the dividends from SVL, which they have been consistently getting quarter and quarter, and that will not stop.
Some bonus dividend every now and then. SVL and
it's
nice
so
cash.
funny.
And there's some news around SVL too.
If you believe in SVL's heavy Ghana push and the fact that I saw your boss's boss speaking very candidly saying that if SVL can, the way they've set up the model, there's Gary Peart, he was speaking about the model in which SVL is set up, that the trustee as in Andon Young Sang, I think the CEO.
CEO.
So she finds it, she goes in, she gets a group, she sees an opportunity. She makes a buy. We come in at the back end. We fund in. We set up. We bring them in. They're now a new division of SVL, and they're working. Yeah. So it's pretty much acquisition growth.
And she's been
very
well
open
since then.
Very open growth by acquisition. Yeah. If you believe in that model, Mayberg Jamaica Equities owns and eats from that every single quarter.
SVL is a cash-rich company, and the type of business they're going into is cash generating heavily.
Yep.
Those dividends, though.
Yep. And they're consistent, and a good chunk of that hits MJE's books.
So MJ and dividends are full enough push because we get a bag of money, we can buy more stocks. We got a lot of money that we never had before today.
Exactly.
So you just watch MJE, the NAV valuation. So any valuation that is lower than what do you call it again?
Any price that's lower than NAV.
Yeah, man. So price lower than NAV. Because I spoke about the PE earlier. So PE valuation 10, we just got a PE of 20. So the PE is 10, so that's discounted dividend. MJE, price lower than NAV, that's a discounted dividend.
Oh, yeah. Once you buy below NAV, you're getting a dividend discount. Yeah, easily. And what you getting that on now?
Everybody paying 1% dividend every year.
Yeah, you're getting it same way. Yeah, so you're getting it on SCI. I will not mention QWI.
Go on for
Alfred. You see it start rise?
Yeah.
You see people start realize what's up. And
I see people, because I think it was around the time of the last results, when the results came out, that was the other day.
I think people realizing that QWI is actually closer. All right, maybe they're not realizing, but the case can simply be made that QWI is closer to Cygnus in model than it is to Select F. Select F is passive. QWI is actively seeking investments.
It's just a different type. Not always a different, because Cygnus does go for equity stake.
Exactly. So I'm saying...
Just the type of returns they get, the consistent returns are different.
No, just in terms of the model, QWI is actively seeking alpha. They're actively seeking a higher return on their investment, right? Cygnus, not Cygnus. So is Cygnus. Cygnus is actively seeking out partners that they can help and earn.
Select F is
passive. We have
we go. If you go down, we go
down. There's nothing happening. We have bought these stocks, and unless the amount of stocks, the weighting change, and we have to do some not even the weighting, because the weighting change based on
the price.
Yeah. So unless
the only time they need to get the weighting right is the very first time. And then
or whenever there's an IPO or like they have to participate maybe in a rights issue or something like that. Yeah. But once they have it, it stays how it stays. They're not actively seeking anything, and they actively just paying out. Let them say they hope 90% of the dividends that they receive, they just want to pass forward. Which says to me that it's obvious.
Yeah. So if Select,
but I think
tracks this now, then say my this discounted dividend if it's a lower now price than NAV. But there is no active seeking of the active fund versus a passive fund.
Versus QWI, which is actively seeking stuff, right? Which is why I was trying to tease that thought out where I say, I know it's unpopular. I'm not trying to be popular or unpopular. I don't care. But I personally can see the case made for a company like QWI to be tracked, and it's crazy, but to be tracked on PE because they're actively seeking profit. Moreover, unlike almost the majority of the companies on the exchange, they're actively seeking profit and actively saying how much of it they're going to pay out every quarter. You know those guys want to pay a great dividend.
All right, so what argument against the PE? Not even against it. It's just
play devil's advocate. Okay, let me hear why that's terrible.
Not even that. I think it's terrible. I think it's, as we always say, valuations are personal.
Oh, undoubtedly.
So you value the company at
Value
this
is very personal.
versus bam. Yeah.
You're just using it as an example, Bam. Chill.
Yeah. So
I might value it a certain way.
So you value it based on where the profits, the way the profits are going to come. So you say, okay, they'll be aggressively seeking profit. PE for what we're looking at, PE is profit continue increasing. No matter any company want profit to continue increasing.
Well, you know what? Let's use easy examples that people follow. So I'll use my real example. My personal view of QWI. I value it if I could distill it into just regular words. I value QWI on the heavy dividends that will be paid by them in the near future, I believe, and continuous dividends that will be paid by them because they're actively seeking to invest in stocks that will grow and allow them to, and be liquid enough for them to exit. They plan to always have a nice cash hoard, and they plan to always be looking for not quick, but relatively fast. I think they said in the prospectus medium term, near term payoff, so that they can pass it along. And of course, they want to pass it along because they themselves own, meaning the principals, own stakes in it, and they want to be paid also. So they're actively seeking, in other words, if I can say it simply, think of QW as a guy who is actively seeking to invest in a way that will allow him to have a nice cash balance that he can pay out to himself very consistently. And of course, that means he's actively seeking profit. And I measure companies that actively seek profit against the profit that they actually get. And I care about that because companies that actually get heavy profit and are doing well have to pay out heavy dividends. And this market cares about dividends because it's cash in your hand. So I'm seeing a company that currently has I know it's crazy, a PE of 6 that is actively seeking profit and is actively going to try to pay that profit out as a dividend. And it's at a PE of 6, so the dividend I expect to be kind of heavy.
All right, so when
and if that company is going to pay a heavier dividend, I know the market will rush to it. And if I think at a longer time frame, so I'm thinking, let's say I think in 3, 4, 5 years, I want to know that I got QWI at $1. How much it is? Right now it's at $1.11. When it's NAV, I think latest NAV release has it at $1.20 something cents.
So NAV
11% discount.
The NAV values a company.
Sorry, 1 sec, because I know I can't get these numbers wrong. 12 point. If I assume it's at 124, I have it at 125. Let me it's at 124. Let me be conservative. Right, NAV of 124 and actual value of 111. Then you're looking at an 11 to 12, 11.7% discount to the actual value. And imagine them paying. Sorry to cut again. Imagine them paying a dividend on their IPO price percentage. So they're saying, we're paying a 2%. Internally, they wouldn't necessarily say this publicly, but we want our first dividend to be 2% of the IPO price. You are now looking on an increase. If you got at 111, and let's say they consider the IPO price to be 125, and they want to pay a 2% dividend at that price, then if you get it at $1.11,
0.02 times 1.2.
Your dividend is actually $2.25%. You're getting that extra 0.25 than everybody else who got that IPO. That means a lot. No, imagine it 5 years from now where your average price is $1.
Imagine it was
$10, a lot of $30, $1. You imagine your average price is $1.11, but you are getting a dividend on a $3 stock. You're getting a 2% dividend on a $3 stock. Imagine that. 2% dividend on a $3 stock. So assuming it's $3 in 2 years. So you're getting, that's what did I say? A $3 stock?
Yeah.
2% dividend. So working it out same time. So you're getting a 6-cent dividend. But to you, your actual price is, your average personal price is $1.11. So that 6 cents dividend is actually a 5% dividend for you. Right? That's bond paper money.
Yeah,
that's the sort of regular.
That's the true value of holding a good company over a long term. If you're looking for dividends and you realize, hey, that's a good company, I could get strong dividends from it in the future. based on where it's going.
Dividend discount model, sort of. Yeah.
So not even,
that's the concept of it.
The value of future
but you know, because I never
price today.
Exactly.
But so thing there. So the valuation difference between a PE and a NAV. So a PE, it future rates the profits, and a NAV is
past
what is the current.
We say current, but it's not current. It's past.
Yeah, man. No, man. If we can do that, it's not even there, unless you're sitting
right there
every day when they're trading, and then you know the price movement, everything. We always get past information when we're on this. That's just generally, or generally we seek future information and current information. What we get fed to us is past information.
And we call it current. So we said the results had just dropped yesterday, but it's result as of September 30th, right? Yeah, we pretend it's current, but it's not, because the lag is built in.
So, or current. So you look at the thing there, NAV is based on current information. It's based on current value of the company. What I've never seen, and I've thought about it before, you bring it back, I haven't thought about it in a while, is look at the asset valuation of a company. What am I talking about? First, I look at this. Everybody does this.
What's that?
PB versus
price. Price to book.
Price to book.
Yeah, which is NAV versus price.
So look at the book value of a company per share, which is a NAV. And
net
then,
asset value.
So if you look at it, so when you're comparing that, when you compare the NAV and the price of a stock, then what you're actually calculating is the PE valuation versus the NAV valuation.
Explain.
Today, the assets are worth this, so we get a NAV from that.
Yeah.
If a company is valued based on its PE,
yes,
then its price directly reflects that valuation. So you're directly at a PE of 20, then today's price at a 20 PE is the PE, the way the market values it if it's valued on a PE basis, right?
Fine, cool. So it directly reflects, only more technically, directly reflects.
So what is the NAV of thing there? If you look at if your future rating is, so look at what is the NAV of thing there? What is the PE of select of what the company you can understand? QWI, and then what's the NAV of QWI?
The last NAV I think we heard from QWI. You can check it out, by the way. QWI have their NAV up now. QWIinvestments.com/net-asset-value. Link is in the show notes. So it's loading. Let me use the time to put the link in the show notes. There's one episode where I haven't done the show notes, even I promised to do it, and it bothers me all the time. QWI NAV. So they promised us that they would release their NAV weekly, not daily like Select F or the upcoming Select M, which just closed, by the way.
Yeah,
people forgot about it between the lumber and the Mailpac.
And I didn't hear a lot of buzz around it. But I expect some of that to be fully filled.
True. And I think what happens is that a lot of the buzz is generated by the flippers and the IPO flippers. Then they really understand it and they're running from it because them think of Select M, say when they say Select F, which is, the flip no make sense. So we might try to get a Mailpac flip, which them run up in a wall called JSC, which I'm not even ready to touch that yet. Let's just say QWI NAV as at November 29th was $1.28 per share.
And the current price is?
And the current price as of the last trading day is, that would be, you guys used to that? Pretend that you're in school challenge quiz, and that would be, that's OG nerd stuff. The price is $1.11. Why did I forget that when I said it 5 minutes ago?
So if you think about it, then a PE of 20 would value the price higher than a NAV of 20. A NAV of NAV whatever day it is.
Yeah, obviously.
If the NAV today is 125 and the PE today is 6. Then PE at 20 would far value it higher than the thing there. So I think it's the approach. So the way the NAV works is that any profit we make at any given time comes into the NAV.
Yeah, because it's retained earnings and as part of our asset base.
So we make money today, asset base go up, NAV go up.
That's right.
The PE is I don't want to use that word. I want to say bet, but I don't want to use that word. Is I look at expectation on future profits. Because, cool. So I fully believe that the profits of this company are worth 20 and not 1. So a NAV basis is not even profit. So the NAV will look at it. Today the money make, we buy it at this. When you lose, then we buy it at that lesser price. Versus PE, you're looking and saying, all right, so in the future, I fully expect to have that much profits being made in the company. So I'm going to buy it forward. So you're buying the future profits when after the time when you buy the PE at a higher at a 20, then PE, you're buying an expectation of future profits.
Exactly.
So what's the PE of thing there of Select F? Oh no, of thing there of QW at 125, which is the NAV.
Say that again.
What's the PE at a 125 price, which is the NAV? So if you're buying it at NAV, then you'll be buying it at the same PE.
So you're saying if it's at 125, what's the PE?
What's the PE?
Oh, okay. 1 sec. Let me do my little Excel stuff. Boom. Wait, I'm doing the wrong thing. Hold up. I'm working from the new file. Maybe I'll edit this out, or maybe I'll make you guys know that I'm human. Hold on 1 second, because there's something specific I want to work from pull it from JC, because I have something that pulls that does the EPS and I want to do it properly. I don't want to mess up the file that's in front of me. So QWI at 125. What did I say, 125 or 124?
125. What I told you, inefficient. Let me not go into the math.
No. Tell me what you did. You just did divide the PE by the current price and then multiply the proposed price by that.
Not even. I just what percentage of the
rise
NAV,
between the current NAV?
What percentage of the NAV is if I buy it at the NAV, say 125, then what percentage of 125 is 111, which is the current price, and then let's multiply that by the thing there. Multiply that by the PE. So the PE will be 6.75 something.
6.75?
Yeah, around there.
If it went up, so it would still be pretty low. Yeah, I've seen it.
It would still be pretty low.
6.75 times.
So you can see where that's a more conservative approach.
Yes.
You're buying it at that lower thing there versus I buy a PE I consistently buy it at a PE on a normal PE 15 to 20 around there. So then I'll be buying it forward at probably a triple price. Triple the price today.
Because I was going to say that. So what you're really looking is that forward value and the PEs for the future. I think we said that a couple episodes ago around the show, and say it's a great point.
Exactly, because I expect this amount of profit, and buy into it. So if you're buying the higher PE, then you're fully expecting that QWI will do better in the future, XXX.
Exactly, which is why I speak about looking at it from a PE point of view, because he's going to constantly, Mr. QWI is going to constantly be seeking future profits.
But I think the issue there is where most people are conservative in the fact that they look at it and say, can he make those profits? Yeah,
and well, go in Jamaica, because all when you make it, and you make it again, and you make it again.
So the thing is that you keep asking, can he keep making it? So all right, so QWI is now on the
and to add to that point, remember we just don't respect all kinds of profits the same. So we do not respect, which is weird. We do not respect unrealized gains.
And I think we don't want to buy into unrealized gains if you think about it.
Until we suddenly do.
So the thing is, the NAV will always be, all right, so you make the money, cool. If don't make the money, Jano. Versus PE. Yeah, man, you want to make the money, man. Do it. Go forward with it. What I mean?
Explain.
If you buy it at a PE of 20, then you fully expect that thing to believe he's going to make 20 PE money. You buy it above the current price of if you're buying it at the PE, at the 20 PE, then you're always going to be buying it above the NAV price.
Oh, well, yeah.
So I think
mathematically there are ways in which you could always the NAV could be way ahead, and no, because the assets is always
no.
The two things aren't yet.
Wait, hold on.
You're talking about specifically QWI.
QWI right now.
Right now. Okay.
If God. Is in in the future, and they make the same profit they made this year, and you're buying a PE of 20 way. So I don't want to bring that thing. It be confusing.
Well, too late. A lot of people are like, we're already confused. I'm sorry. Or maybe they're not.
So when suppose QWI makes 25 cents EPS, right?
Okay. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So 25 cents EPS on a NAV of 125.
That would blow them up.
I just made a fifth of my money, right?
Yep.
If I do the PE at 20 on that type of profit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's at today's price, that's way above today's price, right? If Shoutouts is at $5 and makes 25 cents EPS, it's very different from a $1.11 25 cents EPS. So if you buy the thing there, so that's at that point. If you're buying if you're buying on NAV at $5, then the NAV would be above the PE.
And again, this is specific to a company like Shoutouts or Shoutouts itself.
Now valuation will be above the PE valuation.
Yeah.
So at that point, then if you're buying on NAV, then the PE well small.
But that might happen if it stayed on here and they report heavy. If they report heavy earnings now, and the price don't move, that could happen. Because just like you said, the retained earnings touch back into the asset.
No, wait, stop. I'm trying to think of something. So 125, PE at 125 when you make a 25% thing there. A 25%
EPS? 25 cent EPS.
So 125 thing there, that's a PE, that's an EPS of 20 or so, right? Oh no, that's 5. EPS of 5.
No, you said 25 cents.
0.25. So the EPS of 5.
Okay, sorry, yeah. Okay, yeah.
At $5, if you buy
for that specific earn.
Yeah, so at $5 they make thing there. If they make the PE is 20. So they make the same money. But
your cap gains on that would have been 500 or 500 odd percent. 500%. Well, 400 or something or 300 or something based on when you bought it. Yeah.
So in the future when they're at $5, right?
Yeah.
The NAV is at 5 and the price is at 5, right? And they make the same money they did when they made way back, right?
Mm-hmm.
You make more money if you buy on a NAV basis than a PE basis.
You make more money if you buy on a NAV basis than a PE basis.
So all right, so we make 25 EPS, right? So it's a 5. The value asset is now 525.
But that requires at some point in the future the market is going to start recognizing more of the PE, or a dividend is paid out on a PE basis versus.
I don't think about it at all. I was thinking thing there. If you look at it, so we keep buying on NAV, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're at
but
$5.
we're below NAV now, but yeah.
We're at $5, right? I know. Yeah. But so we're buying on NAV, right? We're at $5 and we make 25 cents EPS, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we would think there. The price of the stock will go up by the 25 cents because we're buying on NAV.
Oh, assuming that the price and the NAV stay constant,
so it's 5, correct? And it goes to 525, right?
Okay.
One day we make 525, right?
Okay.
And that's the only money they made for the year. Cool?
Mm-hmm.
Go from 5 to 525.
So 5% profit increase. 5% cap gains.
Cap gains.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, so we're buying at a PE of 20. And they made 25% EPS.
But buying at a PE of 20 is the same thing as buying at 5 with an EPS of 25 cents.
No, man. So,
you definitely lose most of the crowd now, but I want you to just keep me.
So, all right. So I want to think there. Say that one day you decide, I don't make money to buy on PE.
Mm-hmm.
But the PE is 20.
Okay.
And they made 525. So the PE would actually fall. The PE would actually go up.
No, man. You said they're at $5 and they make EPS. So the end of the year, last year for the end of the year, the end of the year, they're at $5.
And then
day one of the new year, they're at $5 and they have to recognize their retained earnings, which was 25 cents.
So the value,
and the value of the stock rise by that 25 cents also because the market in this magical world is
525
linked.
divided by.
That's a PE of 20.
No, 21. So 5. So go from at
21.
5.
Oh, sorry. Afterwards. You're saying add it back in.
It's valid. The company will value less.
No, but you said 5 at first. You said 5, and then you made it 20%. That was a mistake. That's what you're gonna get baked on Twitter. Bake it.
You go from 5. Oh boy. You go from 5 to 525.
Yeah.
Cool. We made 25 cents.
Which brings your PE to 21.
And now, if we're trying to buy at a PE of 20, then I will give you more money.
So it's the base, but at the end of the day, the truth is nobody really knows what the market is valuing it on until we see what the market is valuing it on.
So what I'm saying is, in the future, if the price is X and the NAV is X and you're trying to, then the NAV basis will give you more money than more returns than the PE basis. Today, when it's smaller, then the NAV valuation will be less than the PE valuation at a PE of 20.
Oh, okay. Nice caveat at a PE of 20, but we see it doesn't, and it's, I can't say it's not, but it doesn't trade on PE. It's considered a NAV stock,
which is funny. And
which is funny. Why I like that is that if a PE stock is traded on NAV, but the NAV the company acts like a PE company and pays a dividend like a PE company, then that's just me building a case for a heavy dividend. And you know how this market reacts to heavy dividends. Yeah. So one good ECL. Dividend and this thing will fly. Well, yeah, exactly. ECL.
But yeah, the thing is, you have to work out whether or not that dividend will come. You have to work out whether or not the profits will come in a certain way. And with a company like JTrader, we'll always have an update on where the profits are.
Yes, well, every week.
Every week. So when the NAV, when you see the NAV less than, NAV is higher than start the quarter lower than it is at any day, then you made money. NAV higher than today, NAV higher than today, then you lost money. Which is interesting because I think they have a lower NAV now than they did at the start of the quarter.
Yeah, I think they lost some money recently.
But they made some good money before. If you look at that, so where I find this a bit hypocritical of people, you look at you make a portfolio for yourself, right? Start of the year, it's at 1 per share, right? So your NAV is 1. And you make a company and put a portfolio in it and whatever. Your NAV is 1. Company goes up to 2. Then it falls back to 1.75. Then it goes up to 3 at the end of the year. A bit hypocritical. A bit specifically for this case, because if you look at it, then you say, if you look at anybody looking at a personal portfolio, the way with all the industry and everybody tries to sell to you, don't watch the fluctuations. You trade your thing. Stocks will always go up over time.
Over the long term, yeah.
We're not going to be forgiving with QWI for doing that.
In terms of what? So,
QWI is the NAV when we bought it.
Was 130 something, I think. When was the actual IPO date? When was the prospectus date?
I can't remember. But
yeah, well, they in the let me tell you, they have a notification that they have, so it's best if I just read it. They said the NAV is lower when at the 30th of September. They showed that they had a NAV of $1.36 per share, and they had an explanation saying the NAV is lower than the $1.52 per share as at July 31st, 2019. And the NAV per share of $1.38 projected for September 30th. So in the prospectus, they did project
they fell below it.
Yeah. And it was a target, and the target was $1.38, and instead the NAV was $1.36. So they missed it by
2 cents.
2 cents per share.
Yeah.
But it's important to know what the percentage is, because there's so much then it's just like about 1.5, they're about 2 roughly percent. So they missed it by 2%. Within tolerance, I could say.
Basically, we're not going to forgive QWI. We'll forgive ourselves for saying, oh yeah, the portfolio it dropped, but it's above what we bought that. But we won't forgive QWI for doing that. I'm not saying you should forgive them. They're actively traded, go make some money. Sure.
Yeah,
I just find that a bit funny. Not saying you're wrong for doing it.
The market can be wrong. So you and I, or you or I, could hold a view, or sometimes you and I hold opposing views. But whatever the market actually did when it come to the point is what the market do.
Exactly.
Yeah, the market can never be wrong.
Consolidation of all of the views.
Yes, exactly. That's why people say, the market isn't pricing this correctly.
No, brother.
The market is pricing it, yeah.
So the thing is, so when people say them thing there, they miss a lot of what they preach. So, all right, so generally I hear out of industry would say, market isn't pricing it correctly based on what I think the PE should be. But the PE is 40, and I fully think the price of the company deserves a 20 PE, so it should be lower than it is today. Then guess who was wrong?
Whoever is
everybody
not
else
the market
is willing to buy. They were willing to buy the company at a 40 PE, so it's at a 40 PE.
Exactly.
I just thought it would be a 20 PE And my personal valuation, because valuations are personal, is less than what the company's valued at by everybody else buying it. So I'm just wrong in that case. So we're always okay with lower PEs.
The rule of thumb, when it comes to PE, lower is better.
Lower is better.
And higher is worse in air quotes.
Higher,
yeah.
So
higher is indicative of the market. I shouldn't say worse. Higher is indicative of the market being willing to pay greater money right now for future profits, for expected future profits. The first time I said that, I was questioned heavily. And it's so funny because it's like that concept cannot be incorrect. A high PE in general means that the market is currently pricing a stock.
Bought it for bought the profits.
But at a higher rate. They're like, yo, I know you think Kingston Wharf is expensive now, but I think they're gonna make so much money that I'm willing to buy it at,
which is why we have this
60 times 60 times past earnings, because I think that the future profits will be worth it, right? And right now, what them looking like? Kingston Wharfs, KW. They are looking like, I think they corrected a little bit. They're at $55 per share now with a PE of 33. They haven't been down this low in a while. Yeah. And the good folk at Mayberry are expecting them to be dropping to a PE of 30.8. So they're expecting they're expecting a nice profit increase at the $55 price. Still rich as hell, right? God, not many PEs higher than that. I think the JC is on one that has a PE higher than currently at 36.6 times. What else is near that in terms of crazy valuations? Barita currently has a 33.96 times at a price of 70.60. But it's funny, Barita has proven very quickly to the market that it can make heavy profit very quickly. Got a new team there. However, on the flip side, my personal view is that the market is now being very conservative with how they view the profit that Barita is making, which is funny. I think they forgot for a minute that we're not supposed to really respect unrealized gains, but Barita is showing them that money is money, and money makes more money. And if I'm making unrealized profits, there are entities out there that respect that will lend me on it. Tell me.
So when we just spoke about Barita before you brought to the podcast about how long the money will be, that money from that will be coming. We both said maybe by end of year that money will slow down because then we're taking more money and X will happen. And when the last results came, I was tweeting about it and I saw Ryan mirroring our thoughts. We never had a conversation with him. I don't think we had that conversation.
I hadn't. Big up man like Five Soleil.
Yeah, man.
the new what is his correct title? Big up the boss. G2K what?
On that one, you know?
yeah. I just shout him out now. When him get to the next episode, Ryan, link up. Well, congrats on your new role, sir. Nothing but pressure coming your way. High expectations.
And you're very deserving, sir.
Yeah. Ryan is a good example of put your nose to the wheel, yeah?
Man. So he was saying so I think the unrealized gain thing slowed down for them now.
You think so? I want to touch this, but I don't want to touch it yet. It's step on some toes. Me and a brethren, well, I consider my brethren, have a bet. So the unless he moves the goalpost again, the answer to the what will clear the bet up is the next set of audited financials from them. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. It's an off-year talk. But go on, I want you to keep making your point because you're right. Yeah, so in terms of the expected slowdown, I think at the time we had said it, then we have a nice heavy quarter. Then, at the time there was just one rights issue. And then
so the next rights issue just came. But I think it closed before the end of the last quarter. And I think they got the shares before the end of the last quarter. So this quarter, where would the gain come from if it is how we say it is, with the owning Barita A, Barita B? Remember that?
Yes, with the fact that they do. So I think at the core of that thing, I don't know why people thought it was a bad thing for whatever reason. I don't understand people thought it was a bad thing.
We've always spoken about it as a good thing.
Like you've heard the podcast, guys, is funded by Brock Rocketed Dreams. So there's nothing to lose in just telling the truth of what we think. We think it's a great idea.
Yeah,
and they're doing it. And we're just interested in it as fans, as on and off shareholders.
In my last week thing there, Kwame mentioned the Chinese wall.
Or week before last.
Week before,
so long.
yeah, man,
oh
week
God,
before
so many
last.
weeks ago.
Yes.
Big up Kwame again.
Kwame mentioned the Chinese wall.
The Chinese wall between the trading arm and
internal.
Yes.
So Barita unit trust fund management is completely separate from the internal operations
of Barita
in that way.
Okay.
So investment decision from the fund managers of Barita unit trust.
Yeah.
For them to buy into Barita, it would not be influenced by Barita themselves saying, boy, we'll go buy that. And it will be from a point of view of, all right, here what? A lot of things are going on with this stock. It looks good for the year. So
they have to be able to prove it on an empirical basis.
Definitely.
They have to be able to justify their decision on an empirical basis. Definitely. And I'm sure that exists.
Trust me, I work in industry, I work in compliance and risk.
So I
work with regulators. You have to justify it properly and say, oh, hey, these are the metrics. This is the upside from a separate, like I'm standing outside looking in. It look good. That's why they have to buy it. So there is a Chinese, generally, for something like that to happen, they have to have a Chinese wall.
A Chinese, because of the closeness of them.
Closeness, yeah.
So let me have to put Chinese wall definition in the show notes. Oh God, let me type it.
So it's accountability measure, so we're not doing anything wrong here. It's good business. Like, they bought Barita in a time where they acquisition and everything going around it, money going to come in. And
I'm sure they had good reason to think that, listen guys, we believe that this is going to grow, so let's hold it. Yeah. So I was saying that I think that one of the slight points of contentions, or what I believe the core of the point of contention is this. It's a very simple question. I distilled it down to this. Do you think that Barita's P&L, profit and loss statement, is directly affected by the performance of Barita's share price? Is either yes or no. So I'm banking on yes, and if the answer is no, then it's no. I'm happy to see it. Yeah. Right. I'm actually excited to find out. I don't know how this could have become anything other than a great thing.
Then homework and I know of things to look at.
Well, if we get a no, then we've found a new way to learn something. You're wrong on something is the greatest way to learn the right thing. Yes, I'm really excited. So that's all it's coming down to. So I'm looking forward to those results. Yeah, because it'll tell a lot. The audited results should give the notes and explain what is what. Although we know that you can still obfuscate things in there.
Yeah, it does. The auditor deemed that not necessary to say. I don't think the audited financials will reveal the value of will reveal the holdings. Because it's held or not. So,
they have that line about, is there a confusion line on my part? That line about, they have the preference shares, and then they have a line about investment in preference shares in the cash flow statement. For the people going to that boring stuff.
Yeah. So that was interesting to me.
Yeah,
I don't think we spoke about that. But I was talking about them owning them
themselves.
The unit trust owning Barita shares. I don't think that's not going to be audited. No.
What's not going to be in the audited?
Oh, that we own Barita shares. If they do own Barita shares, that's not going to be audited. Because
we will see. Well, say because
I don't think so. Because it's held by. So when I was looking at Barita way back, I think the last audited, I was trying to find out what is the equity, because it's gain on equity. Where that come from? So I was looking at investments and I realized that all I saw there really was them owning the unit trust. That's equity. So they own the only part of the unit trust thing. So they own the unit. The unit was fund management, and the unit trust itself, the company has bought into the unit trust, so they can realize equity gain from that. So I don't think they own any shares outright. The unit trust, we already discussed that. The unit trust owns, but there was no breakdown of what the unit trust owns.
But looking on Barita's top 10, you can see that the unit trust is one of the biggest owners. And one of the biggest owners would mean that they were the biggest owner around the $9 price, and they're still the biggest owners at the $70 side. So I'm saying,
we're not waiting on the audited, are we?
I'm waiting on the audited because I like an empirical. I trust our local auditors. Yes. And if the auditor says it and it's not Randy who said it, and there's no Randy bias if an auditor says it.
All right, so let me just drop what I know. The top 10 isn't generated from the company that's looking at whatever. The company has to have a signed off on registrar. They have to have somebody.
I believe the registrar is JCSD, but I could be incorrect.
Yeah, that's about But end of the day, they cannot present anything. They cannot present a top 10 list to the JSE or for the shareholders without the registrar saying these are the top 10 as at this date.
I get you.
So
it can be wrong also. It's public information. It cannot be wrong.
Exactly. The registrar knows at any given time we have this amount of shares.
Yes.
So and JSE site.
Yeah.
One of the updates I have to commend them on that they do very quickly is change in share capital. So when new shares are there, very often I don't think I've yet to go on the site when new shares drop in and the new shares aren't represented on the stocks page.
Okay, yeah. Well, all right. So you touch on JSE, and I guess we can't mention it without mentioning it because they are the elephant in the room. I'm going to touch a BIL point. You have something else you want to say on BIL?
BIL?
Barito?
What was I saying even? I was just saying thing there.
You see, because I know the point because we've spoken separately.
I'm just not sure that the profit, the gain on equity will come this quarter because I haven't seen a strong movement in their profit in their
share price for over the last 2 quarters.
What I thought was good for them was the rights issues. So when the unit trust buys into the rights issue, then so the price is 75 today, and we buy the rights issue at 45. Then that's a $30 gain on every single stock.
Which in a unit trust means that the value of the units would rise, right? Which if I own shares in the unit trust, then and if I'm recognizing the unit trust holdings at value.
So we
can answer those questions simply by checking. But in an audited report, you have to tell how you are choosing to recognize your holdings, which is why I'm patiently waiting. I'm a very patient man. No, you think. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
But the last one, they haven't dropped anything. The 9 months was June.
9 months was no.
The 9 months was as at June.
September.
No, not when it came out. Meaning their 9 months results. Their 9 months ended June 30th, 2019. That's their 9 months. September then would be their full year. That came out also, correct?
It wasn't audited. It was unaudited.
And that's why I'm waiting on the audited report. I'm taking my simple time.
I was speaking about this quarter. They're new first. The first quarter.
Their Q1 is what you were speaking about.
I'm not really seeing where a super gain on equity. Unless I have to check it. I don't think it's there. And they're at so if we're moving the stock price up based on the gain in equity, and if that ball stops rolling, I might get
in technical trouble for saying this. Meaning it's a technicality. I'm not an accountant, but if I'm going to go through the risk of dumbing it down, essentially we're saying that in the quarters where that share price jumped heavily, their profit also jumped heavily. And the reason, a huge part of the reason, as stated in the financials, was gain on investments. But we don't know the details of that per se, right?
So we're speculating
so you're speculating
information that we can see to make a decision on it.
So you're saying that 2 quarters, that 2 big gains, but also during the time period, they also had rights issues that helped them, price movements. So you're saying that if between the end of Q4 or their financial year, the end of their financial year, and the end of Q1, if we don't see a very big difference in share price between then we don't see a very huge difference in share price, a huge difference in profit for Q1, then you could speculate and say that it's linked to it. Of course, I'm sure you can get it through the audited numbers. We'll see it. The last line I'll touch on is that in there, while I was talking about the June results, was that there's this nice line in there speaking about them having an investment in preference shares. That's all. In the cash flow.
The 10 million or
700 million.
700 million, yes.
700 million investment in preference shares. But they also have preference shares that they issued, I believe, during that time.
What's interesting, I haven't very much thought on it.
And they had
Look at their authorized share capital.
It moves?
No.
It's unlimited. Don't they have unlimited power, I believe?
Oh, they have unlimited.
No, I think they have the power to change it without asking. They got that power.
Yeah, they got power to change
they
it
made
but look at the thing there. If you look at
change to the articles,
they changed it to a really high number.
Yeah.
It was so the number they have now is less than 1 billion shares they have out. And I think the during the last AGM, or either AGM or EGM, where they asked for an increase in the authorized share capital. Right?
Okay. Explain that to the people.
Authorized share capital is the amount of shares we're allowed to have out. If I have 10 billion authorized share capital, then I can't have more than 10 billion shares without asking the shareholders to authorize us to get more shares. I can't have anything less, I can't have equal, but I can't have more shares than that number. Cool? Mm-hmm. I think they asked for their authorized share capital is 13.5 billion. Off the top of my head.
That's so funny.
And they have less than 1 billion shares.
I'm checking the JSE's website, but it's currently saying that the shares outstanding is 0 units.
What?
You know, on the usual page for BIL, shares outstanding says 0 units. So I guess JSE going through it.
I just big them up, dog.
Yeah, 5 minutes ago. I'm kind of embarrassed. So I guess we can go straight into that. So the JSE has been, boy, I don't know. People say, I don't care if people say I give a hard time, yo. I've been trying to let it go, but it burn me quite affect me, right? So we're talking to you after the Mailpac. Listen, we're talking to you after the first week of Mailpac trading in air quotes. Because you never really trade.
Yeah, all the people that wanted to trade could not trade.
Yeah.
JTrader has been a drag.
Right. And Mailpac itself, I hear people talking about like them call JC about it, and the answer JC give them is, yo, maybe you don't trade Mailpac today.
Oh yeah. What?
Yeah.
I know the brokers have been responsive. There have been trades going through, and I know the brokers say,
yeah, some people have traded.
Call in, then you can get trades.
Yeah, because trades have crossed the floor. Trades have crossed the floor. So let's not make it sound like they haven't.
It was really hard for me, who uses JTrader, the JSC's platform. So the way I have an issue with that, it's not an outside platform, it's JSC's platform. I shouldn't have an issue trading on the JSC with JSE's platform. So that was really annoying to me. And it's the most efficient way to trade the way I see it. Unless I'm an actual trader at a brokerage house behind the trading, looking at the actual thing, looking at the actual system and working with it. If you're an outside person, then JTrader is the best way for you to trade.
That's no question. Access, right? People wondering, what is that? What is JTrader? I mean, you can read it on a blog, you can read it on JC's website. Please don't DM me asking. It's cool to check everymickle.com. There's a broker article. I will put that in the show notes also. Not that I don't want you to DM me. It's just that, like, I have to, it's me personally, right? There's no team, it's me. So I have time to get to it, and it's kind of hard to tell everybody. So I'm going to be very clear on what JTrader is. JTrader is a platform, a trading platform from the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
You can go and you can trade. You can input trades yourself.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me answer it because I'm answering it based on the questions people ask me a lot of beginners. So JTrader is a platform from the JSE. It allows you to trade stocks on the Jamaica Stock Exchange. We consider it, on this is our personal opinion, to be the best trading platform because it is direct. You can see things like what everybody else is trying to buy a stock for, how many orders are in, the exact orders, the amount for those orders, plus buy and sell. You can see it for every stock. While the market is open during trading hours, JTrader shows you live data. It is the best platform. People always ask, so it's better than XYZ from any broker? Yeah, unless that broker tells you that I have JTrader, this is the best trading platform for active trading. Now, everybody does not need to do active trading. Let me say that also. It's not for everybody. If you're one of those people who are buying for an IPO flip, if you do not have JTrader, I've said this before, I'll say it again. If you don't have JTrader, you're joking, you're wasting your time. You need to be direct in the market. You have to be very quick, and JTrader is the fastest. It's immediate. You see the order, you put in the buy or the sell, it goes immediately. By the time you go back to the order screen to check it, you don't even see it gone. It is the fastest. It is the best. If you're going to trade for yourself, you need to have JTrader if you're serious about the market or if you're flipping. All right. The second question people always ask me then is, so I need a broker for that? You need a broker to trade on the Jamaica Stock Exchange no matter what. Even if you're using JTrader, behind the scenes, your broker is involved in the orders or they're updated. You have to get permission, but these things run through your broker. You can only get JTrader from a broker that uses the JTrader platform. Not every broker uses it. So JMMB have it? No, JMMB does not have JTrader platform. The only brokers that use the JTrader platform, I think there are 6 of them, is GK Capital, MVL Stockbrokers, NCB Cap Markets, Proven Wealth, Sagicor Investments, and Victoria Mutual Wealth, and Barita. BAL use them. So if you're a customer of one of those, you have access to it. If you don't have access to it, call your broker, tell them you want JTrader access, and have them set it up for you. Trust me. I don't know if I said Sagicor Investments, so if I didn't, they're also one of them that's on it. I should pause. I'm going to pause. I'll big up NCB because I did that thing with them. They helped me to do, I gave it to it. It was along the Black Friday lines, but I had a free session and I loved it. Got to give people some good info. It was grower-like. It's not really grower. Grower lasts 4 to 6 hours. Grower is in-depth. People asking questions. I keep it small. This was very big. This was, I think, I could have it wrong. I think about 200 people came out to it. Very nice. You could come and open a brokerage account same time with NCB Cap Market, which I respect. So respect NCB for having that, allowing people to get it for free. Thank you for that. I was really happy to be able to contribute to that also. Thank you very much, guys. I hope more brokers will do stuff like this. Cap Market stepped up to do it. JMMB has been very open with us. Very nice. So thank them for that also. Other brokers, you're open to it, reach out to me if you want. It's earnings@evermickle.com. The partner in whatever way we can, if we can help the people. We have a nice, I think we have a nice listener base, and we have a nice push, and people enjoy being educated and getting the exposure. So I was happy for Cap Market to do something like that. And people came and I got their account set up on some on spot, and some if you haven't. I think by the time you're hearing this, I've been told by NCB that you can expect to see your accounts opened by, I think, Wednesday, November 11th. Yeah. Wednesday, November 11th. Yeah. And so if you came, chances are you got an email sent. If you didn't get an email, guys, again, I did it in partnership with NCB, but I don't work for NCB, so I can't help you with the DMs. You should DM Cap Market, and you should DM NCB, and they have a nice enough presence on Twitter. Cap Markets doesn't, I find. They don't have it. NCB, the bank, is on it, but people tell me they get responses from it because their customer care team covers it. Not an easy job. Big up those people too, because they're working hard and they have to deal with people like us. So big up for that. But yeah, guys, if you don't have JTrader, I hope that helps you understand what JTrader is. A trading platform we think is the best. If your broker isn't one of the brokers I mentioned before, that's the only place you can get it. Or if you really like your broker, pressure them into giving JTrader access. It's up to them. They can do it, right? How to pressure them? I guess ask them. Send an email. Say it publicly. I'm sorry to break the flow to do that, but I feel the need to do it because I'm trying to cut the amount of DMs because I get a lot, and I don't want to be mean to anybody. I don't want to not help anybody, but people come to me and them think you're just a one person, just a one man, a one woman. I want you to help me, and I want to help them, but everybody think they're the only person. Rough, you owe me, you see 30 DM. I get like maybe 5 to 10 a day, and it's people looking for help. I want to help them, but I can't. Even I get overwhelmed. I honestly get overwhelmed by it, but that's another topic for another time. Anyway, we're talking about JC, right?
Mailpac.
So Mailpac listed $1. Hardly anybody could trade.
They couldn't get to trade. Hardly anybody was trading. Hardly any trades were going through.
Yes.
Yeah.
JC, of course, this is compounded by the fact that Mailpac listed the day after or shortly after. JC did a system update to move on to their backend system, to move on to the NASDAQ system. Yeah. So I almost want to do a JC episode. Big up JC if you're listening. Somebody there, big them up in case you are interested in doing anything or coming on the podcast to expound for the people that like to understand it. We'd love to have you. But trust me, people frustrated. And JC's, with the problems that they're having, and JC's method is they talk when things are good. Best stock exchange in the world. Big up that, but we know that's because of the company's performance, not JC's performance.
Yeah, I think you could do a lot more for what. So your customer gets gain from you facilitating it.
Yes, so good trading. So let me cut you just for it, but just to complete the circle, the problem is that this week they had a problem, and the man just got silent.
Yeah, so the thing is, I've been no talking on Twitter, and it was weird to me. I've never had a good response from them on Twitter. Like, I'm always at them when things are going wrong, when I want something to sort out. And I've never actually gotten a response. I think probably once, if anything. Yeah. We actually call them.
You get good customer care. Yeah, when I call them, the IT department is on top of it. I think one of them. Yeah, one of them, or maybe more than one of them, follows me on Twitter, and he has tweeted me before. He's been saying some things. I could tell that he was at JC, but I don't know if he's more under pressure. I don't like loading people up like that if them don't want it. I don't want him under pressure. Where's him at work and him just trying to help. I can tell it's in personal account, but I could also tell that him work at JC. Those guys are actually good when you call them. In fact, I called one of them a couple of weeks ago, and the usual thing happen when I call a house or anything around it. I say my name, and then them got them type and them what? And I say it again, and them go, oh, you can tell that them know who I am, but they won't say it. That's fine. I like when they call. I'm with you on that. When you call, they actually have great customer care. When you go in there, the people actually are great. But the Twitter account doesn't seem to be following.
We're working on this or whatever. They do speak, but I always find it to be too late. Or so that they said they're going to work. They've heard our issues we've had on JTrader or any issues with the updated platform, and they're going to work on it. But in the moment when I'm having issue, I can't get anybody on it. And two, I actually want to know what they think the issues are. So when I have an expectation of what is being worked on, so we get work on issues. All right, so what issues exactly? Do you know all the issues that have been communicated? I was finding it to be a bad experience. The Mailpac has been a bad experience. I haven't really tried to trade it because I see the issue. Like I look at the queue, and I fully don't understand what's going on. And I see trade go through, but the trade is still in the queue, and I was just sorry, never mind. I know so putting out, and then order is not going to go through. People around me saying, "Boy, then put in an order, cancel same time."
Yeah, people frustrated.
Pending from how long? What the point of me putting on a trade? Hope and pray. Better I call in my broker.
Yeah. I'm with you there. And then a lot of people don't know that they could do that. So guys, while JC provides a JTrader system, and you get to use it, the option is always still there to contact your broker directly. Email, if you have the email indemnity, call in an order. Remember episode of Billions
when they when Toto or so?
Oh, and they had to
thing there.
fall back.
The internet was down and you had to start calling.
Yeah.
You're serious about the money here. So
what? You know what? That's funny because somebody was saying me too. I didn't think they had a bad thing. I hope my response to them wasn't rough, but like it bothered me. They were saying that, they just have a system update. You have to bear with them. You have to understand. Absolutely not. No, we cost Digicel, we cost Lime, we cost NCB, we cost everybody. We cost Burger King, we cost Tasties, we cost Juicy, we cost Mothers, we cost everything. But if I cost JC, are doing something bad? No, I don't have to understand if you have
the thing is, they've been testing for a while. They put a notice saying they've been testing.
You know, a while ago, man, this is JC's like fourth system, maybe. And I'm not knocking them, I'm fine with them having an issue, Just talk to me. That's the worst thing to have people have an issue and you don't. I know that person because sometimes I'm guilty of that.
It's my money.
And it's my money. I'm not even going to touch from the shareholder aspect.
Okay, so I imagine shareholders thinking, all right, so we make our money on trades. New listings are a place where we make a lot of money because lots of trades happen. I don't want the interest in Mailpac to be killed from not being able to trade during the IPO
because of issues. Exactly, because it means that the natural fervor of the market, that natural market anticipation that would drive a stock to a certain price or allow people to go to a certain level. JC almost killed that in my view with the issues, right? Yeah. And I don't want to hear, oh no, just understand, because Mailpac will never IPO again. This is their IPO. This is the big deal. They'll never have this moment again. And somebody might have been looking for some great gains or wanted to jump out on day 2 or day 1 and they couldn't because the system don't work, right? I mean, it's still nice. I mean, after the first 3 days of trading, they're looking on what? The price is way ahead. I think they're over 100% gains. You remember the prices?
Who that? Mailpac?
Mailpac, yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, way over 100%.
No, we're talking about the first day or...
Well, 3 days. As of right now, definitely. They're currently at $2.31. So you're at 131% profit, but I don't really feel happy about that.
Because I haven't been able to participate in those profits.
Exactly. It's just, he's like, you tell me, there's a really good party going on next door. But, oh wow, you're not invited. You're invited now, but try make it, the door locked.
The door, man, him just stay away, man.
It's a new door. It's a new door. Sometimes you have to understand. We're going to sort out the hinges and the locking time, Yeah, but by the time I reach the party, might done or lame.
So don't worry about that, man. Go and try.
Yeah, come on. You'd have to be like, yes, I do. You're not my friend. You're a company I own.
So Mailpac traded $1.30, $1.32 on the first day. If you bought that, at those prices.
Yeah.
And now it's at $2.31. It makes some nice gain. And guess what? I was not able to be the guy that got those gains.
What do you mean? From 231, 132 to 231?
Yeah, that's 75% increase. And I was not allowed to compete for those shares. And I think I complain about that regular too. Every time the circuit breaker thing, with the circuit breaker is 15%. So JTrader, I don't know about now.
Preach on it. That I call people want to hear about the circuit breaker thing.
It's not really about circuit breaker. It's about the JTrader limitation of.
No, but speak on it.
Yeah, man, sure.
Yeah.
But I can't buy a stock. I couldn't buy a stock on JTrader.
Gems, bro,
for more than 15% of the
reference price.
And the reference price is often the opening price of the stock. Sure, right? But if I come a broker, I'm allowed to ask for any price.
Yes. And you as just a general member of the public, I don't believe can be restricted in what you can offer for your asset to be sold.
So so the issue all right, so if everybody that's calling the broker would wake up in the morning or call the broker from before, email them long time, put in that 30% increase by I wake up on JTrader and I cannot compete for those shares because I cannot pass more than 15% with the price I have put in. Every IPO, I think, or almost every IPO, at them on Twitter complaining about it. I even called them more than once, and I spoke to the people in the IT, say, well, we carry help, talk to the marketing department, they understand the rule, talk to them, and I've had agreement from them. Actually.
You found people there who understood the circuit breaker rule?
Again, this is not specific to the circuit breaker, it's specific to JTrader can't buy more than 15% of the reference.
Yeah, it was limiting our access, but is investigating that just like you, that you start finding out that there are people there who have a lot of knowledge, and then there are people there who may not.
I think it's the same person, and the person agreed with us.
That
get back to us, and I don't know.
But I get that that's internal bureaucracy, but I don't work there. Yeah. It's not my job to be satisfied with your problems.
Definitely. So I don't understand how I can exactly. So I shouldn't be calling and. You're going to put me to the guy that understands the circuit breaker, but the guy doesn't understand the circuit breaker.
Exactly.
But when I report an issue with JTrader, 15%, I can't buy more than, but everybody else can buy more than 15%. I look at the queue and I say, boy, them start go to 30%, 70%, everybody put in orders. And you know how JTrader works. If you put in an order to buy that, let's say someone on the next side for 30% more, put in a 70% order to catch it. Then you catch it at 30% less, at 30% more, you get the shares, whatever, right? You got the price, you got it for the best price that was there because you were able to compete for those shares.
Exactly.
I can only go 15%, so
they're limiting where I can compete.
That guy
exactly.
70%.
Yeah. Which was one of the weaknesses, but to their credit, and let's give them some praise, that update seems like it's in the right direction. Yeah. It has a lot more type of orders. They have the limit orders, they have market orders.
That's the thing, same time that wait. We're like,
asking
for this.
The game changed.
They have been listening with that.
Yeah. And I think they knew, and I think they had to have it to go onto NASDAQ. NASDAQ is not a boy thing.
Yeah.
So they're tooling up to get there, and I'm happy to see that. Really, really happy to see that.
I wonder were they testing JTrader properly because during the switch, we're on the platform, we've been testing it. Was JTrader on the platform? Was JTrader being in any stress tests on the platform? Because why now is an issue. The day we launch. Let's go
even further. Earlier I spoke about how impressed I was with Blue Power's leadership with timing their fix and their reorganization. On Twitter, we've seen people vex with NCB saying, really? System upgrade? Did you have to plan it for the end of the month? You're telling me that JSC, the company that's IPOing something they know people are excited about, Mailpac, couldn't also know that maybe we don't schedule a system update around the same time? Least, if you know you're going to do the system update, push the system update for the date. Or if you know you're going to do the IPO, push the IPO.
Or do a test in a closed loop.
I have no doubt that they did some testing, and you know how it go.
I hope they did.
Yeah, I would like to think that they did. But
on JTrader side, because the issues, people...
The trader side is fine. The traders can pay. That's a different system.
So were they testing JTrader integration with that system?
I don't know. And no matter how much you test it from a software point of view, you never really know until the go live day, right?
So I was asking about stress test, at least.
Exactly. Or just maybe you don't do it the same time you're doing Mailpac. Maybe you don't stress. Mailpac is a great stress test, because most people...
I don't want to be a part of the stress test.
Exactly. And nobody ever really wants to be it. So I can understand them saying, listen, there's always going to be a day when we do it, and there's always going to be problems on that day that you have an issue with. I'm fine with that. but maybe you don't have it cross paths with that IPO day. That's all I'm thinking, right? And then the silence in the face of all of this.
So I can't be tweeting you.
And
my
nothing.
issue. My money can't move. I can't do this.
And things have been changed and they don't tell the whole market. It's like them don't remember them own rules. Somebody said to me, yo, I pointed out that they had those new 5 things that they said that will not be allowed, which is the types of trades and you'll be able to trade. It's a big deal for people, especially who have a lot of money. You're not able to trade less than 100 units. There used to be a minimum restriction that you have to trade at least a minimum of 100 shares. I don't know if it's on their website yet, but they put it on JTrader. But that's something that affects the entire market. You can't tell me, say, isn't that obvious from the JTrader thing? Most of the people in the market don't have JTrader.
So what's going on?
Yeah, it's like you tell me, it's like you put up a sign that we're going to change the national flag, but you only put up the signs about it in Portland. Yeah, you can't do that. You have to make everybody know.
And the communication with when an IPO is listing.
Oh God, and
it's on Twitter only. You know people don't use Twitter?
On the day, yes. Oh yeah, you know people don't use Twitter. And secondly, it's on the day of the listing.
Or the day before.
No, it would have been great if it was the day before. They don't. They don't.
Oh,
it's on the day. I saw the tweet. On the day. While the ceremony was, or a little before the ceremony, say like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. What that? That don't take none. You didn't know internally say what's going to happen yesterday, you know? And if you feel say you can't tell this, if it's social media being handled externally, make them sign an NDA and have them understand what is what. And if you don't trust them, bring it internal. But it can't be that your users suffer for you. And it's a big deal. People shouldn't tell me it's not a big deal. I'm going to just draw people mind back, or people who don't know, I'll draw them back to 2015 when Facebook had their IPO. Well, I don't know if they had, when did Facebook IPO?
Don't know.
You should know these things, bro. You should be on top of the market like that. Blah, 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 blah.
For me, I'm not really looking at the US market more than
so?
Yeah. Not even so much so.
Facebook IPO'd in 2012. Here's what happened in 2015. They settled the lawsuit because if people remember clearly, on the day of I believe the Facebook IPO, remember it was a big deal because Facebook share price fell. What came out later on, I could have this wrong, I'm sorry if I do, but what came out later on was that there was a whole heap of system issues affecting it. So some traders are going through, orders were stuck, blah, blah, blah. Let me read you a quote and see if this sounds very familiar. Facebook's first day of trading on May 18, 2012 was rife with technology problems that resulted in a delayed opening and thousands of orders being stuck in NASDAQ system for hours. That sounds very familiar though. Market-making firms lost an estimated $500 million as a result. And in 2013, here's the important part, NASDAQ voluntarily repaid about $41.6 million to them because NASDAQ realized that their technology problems caused a lot of the market's general bubbling. I don't want to say bubble. NASDAQ, I believe in this case, is almost admitting that they know that their technology issues cause a lot of the natural enthusiasm of the market to be stunted because the people enthusiastic, but them can't get into the party. The cake look nice, but we can't get in because you don't know where the key for these doors are, right? And so they had to do it, but they got sued same way. People sued them, and I love that. And well, hear me quoting the article again. I'll put the article in the show notes. In a first for the U.S. Stock Exchange, NASDAQ on Thursday agreed to pay $26.5 million to settle a class action lawsuit involving its bungling of the Facebook $16 billion IPO. That's what the plaintiff's lawyers said. No, they said that the NASDAQ violated federal and state laws by not disclosing technology weaknesses in its IPO systems and failing to properly design and test them for the Facebook offering. I don't want to hear no excuse. Best in the world have to act like the best in the world. Yeah, nobody goes, you think Glenn Mills, they go, oh, you're saying, you really, your farm, when you're starting farm is poor, but you're the best in the world and you're trying, so it's all right. No, the man push for greatness, and that's why we have you guys a legend and the coach as a legend. I'm not easing up on Facebook. I'm not easing up on JC. Yeah, no excuses, and silence cannot be the answer. I know how bad it is because I'm guilty of the same thing. I naturally am like that. Like if I have something to fix for you, right, I'm not one of them people going to party with you and do something about it. Oh, I'd rather avoid you. And that's annoying for people like, yo, maybe you don't even have an issue, maybe you're like, yo, Randy, just call me and tell me. which reminds me of a deadline that just passed.
It's for you to deal with it, basically.
It sucks for me to deal with it. I understand people on the other side, and it might be unfair, but life is unfair. I can get away with it, and my friends or people doing business will cost me. JC, do have that option, I'm going to cost them also. And silence is such a lame thing now. Tell us you have things wrong. As since the ball has been happening, they put up something on there again on JTrader. So it's only people, and I guess because it affected heavily people on JTrader, it makes sense there. So imagine they're finally saying it now that to our valid users, this week our new updates have resulted in a few issues, and for this we sincerely apologize. Thank you guys. Thank you for saying that. We're currently working assiduously to resolve these issues by close of business Friday, December 6th. This notice went up December 6th, by the way. So they tell us before them say it on the day, while the market was being bungled on the Mailpac thing, in my view. You should see improved performances by Monday, December 9, 2019. I hope so too. Please continue to report any issues noted to supportots@jamstockx.com so that we can resolve them as quickly as possible.
I found that same email to be thing there to be.
Again, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience caused. Just the fact them said this make a world of difference to me. And if this was go up the Thursday, I'd have vexed, but at least I don't know. But the silence don't cut it at all, JC. Yeah, man. And then their Twitter account is annoying because their Twitter account says pretty much the same thing. Them go quiet in time, something is going wrong, but them always ready to shout out about the good times. Like them Twitter account never say nothing. And then I saw that they actually, was it a tweet they put up? I see it's deleted now. I think they put up a tweet saying that they're sorry also. Yeah, because I had actually retweeted it, but it looked like it might be gone. It looked like them deleted it. So I guess them serious about this do apologize thing. What do you mean? The SNJC must stand for Sizzler. Anyway, they need to fix their communication. Apologizing is not a bad thing. And acknowledging issues is not a bad thing. And if the great NCB can do it, JC can do it.
If during the issue, you're acknowledging the issue,
it makes a world of difference.
So much versus everybody that was trying to trade and couldn't trade. So I thought, please and thank you. Anyway, we've been talking for forever. I see Bam shouting to us, say, yo, it look like we're going towards 2.5 hours. So damn.
I enjoyed the talk. I've been missing. I've been getting burnt out from people really just pressing me the hard way and trying to handle everybody. So it's always good to have a good conversation with that, and I'm happy to share it with people. So I hope people didn't find it boring. I hope they enjoyed it. The gems, bro. Give them the voice, Danai.
Gems, bro. Gems.
And I hope you enjoyed it. This one should be up soon, before the year end. I should do some good business for myself and mention that I do have a monthly investment workshop where I help a beginner's investment workshop where I go into real depth. I keep the classes small to allow people the chance to ask any question they want. You get individual attention. You get really a whole heap of me really trying to ensure that you get the value for it. I've been so burnt out. I don't know if I have any in December. I might do some secret things for the advanced grower people, the people who have been to grow in the past. But yeah, I've been going for a while. Yo, can you believe it, dog? It's December and we started this thing in what? July, August?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yo, I was looking at the numbers. You remember when I said to you that, I think we can go to the point where, maybe every episode we have like a dedicated 100 people listening to it. Jeez, you wept.
Yeah, really, really, really love the support. I hate calling support,
Yeah, me too.
Because I want to feel like I'm the support. Like I'm giving you something and you're here for a reason more than pick up right now and randomly listen to them something. No, guys, we really hope we deliver value. I know I am. We know we are. We just want to continue to deliver more value, and thanks for being along with us for the ride.
Yeah, really happy to do it. I tease people. Well, like to close that point that I said about me saying to you at the start, say, that is something I think should exist. I just want to see it. I just want it to happen. So if we get like a dedicated 100 people, I'm happy with that. I am overwhelmed by just the support. I never know people like it like this. I'm happy that people like it, but 100 people, I used to say, 100 people listen to us today.
Yeah,
more than 100 people, almost 200 people listen to us today.
It's when I hear people that people tell me about people listening to me. So I got that thing there. I was IPO. Actually, haven't been able to reach out, but I mean, just big up this person. So this is my big up to you. I wasn't able to come downstairs and meet you during the Lumber IPO or somebody that came to the office. So I maybe asked to see me. No, man, brother.
Okay.
He
Because I was
came
going
to
to
the
go right
office.
back into the platonic sugar.
Yeah,
sugar.
he came to the office and he wanted to meet me.
Uh-huh.
He says I listen to the podcast, and his name is Kamoy Jackson, I believe. And gave me a little message. Oh, I listen to your podcast weekly, but he couldn't come upstairs because a lot of buzz during the IPO. Everybody busy.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
man. So big up Kamoy Jackson. Thanks for the listen.
Yeah, shout out to him and all the listeners. I mean,
All listeners. So
yeah, man.
Like just the random somebody you meet somebody random and they just listen to the podcast. My brother Jermaine, so Jermaine was I used to call him one of the best advisor in the business. Like Jermaine fully know, like, good salesperson, delivers value every single time. I don't want an advisor, but when I had Jermaine, like, I never business good brother, you see me? Work with him at Mailpac and work with him at VM. I think he's back at VM now, but his brother is listening to the podcast. And him brother never knows me and Jeremy in a bridge.
Ah,
so
he
came to Maybury the other day and he's like, wait, he must probably mentioned that night to him and say, yeah, my bridge. So I came downstairs, I met his brother, everything is cool, man. It was nice to talk about market and about things. But yeah, man, bless up everybody. Brethren Alex, best friend Alex, is thing there. Him telling me same girlfriend, the girls at her office, listen to the podcast.
What you say?
So them every now and then they mention something to him. Like, big
You
up
can
Ashley and big up, I don't know names. But big up everybody that listens to the podcast.
Yeah,
Really
man.
appreciate it.
And shout out to the people that have been telling me, yo, I don't get to show it all, but I am really happy when people just explain to me that, yo, one, we open it up for them, we make it clear to people, say, yo, it's
That's
not a
the aim.
scary world that them can't
Yep.
understand. And I really like when people explain to me and show me, say, yo, I never know nothing. I start do it and I make money. Yo, that difference that it making people life, I really, really like that. So if it's one,
in our lives.
yeah. So and to share that difference to our people. Remember, Kalila, big up Kalila again.
Big up Khalil. I was thinking about
You remember
it
when
just
she was
now,
talking about
breaking it
how
down.
she was talking about how she learned it and she see it and she just have to share it. And it's the same exact thing. She and I are having the same exact conversation. Say, yo, I see it. And I'm like, why aren't more people doing it? I want more people to do it. So let me start sharing it. I'm really happy for that. I'm really happy that people are learning from it.
Definitely.
I'm just really, really happy, guys. And I think the long-term effect of more people now getting into it will be great. I am proud of that. I'm happy that I've been able to come up with something that have helped so many people in such a small amount of time too. Yeah, when you look on the listens and the listeners.
Yeah, I'm gonna interact with it on Twitter. Like all the people
like I said, 100 each episode was, like, in my mind, what we do when we get to like a really good goal, you know, like, wow, we 100 people dedicated to listening to us every week is pretty good. And I think that'd be great to have some people talking. It would blow my mind. I'll tell you an example without giving any perfect numbers. I just using even just the light SoundCloud numbers, which isn't all the numbers. I wanted to post a picture closer to like 8, 9 or 10,000 listens. And when it's at 8,000 something, I want to show at 9. But by the time I go back and check it past 9, I started going to 10, it passed 10. I think now we're closer to like 21. SoundCloud telling me 21,000, 21.2 thousand listens. Yeah. And we are on episode, what is this? Episode
17, 16.
You see that would even know. It's episode 18 actually.
18,
episode
okay.
17
Close
was
enough.
Kalila.
Yes.
Episode 16 was that
Kwame.
nice one with Kwame. And this is episode 18, which I don't know what to call it. I might call it R&D with R&D. Because I'm corny like that. And when I type in it, I realize that R&D for research and development and R&D.
I should open a firm, bro. Open a firm called R&D.
R&D with R&D. R&D.
The firm is R&D.
R&D. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Who knows? Look out for it. But yeah, I'm really thankful for everybody that listens. I'm happy I can help people, and I hope I can help a whole lot more people.
Definitely.
Yeah, man. I always think about the impact of where I am in the moment, and I think in this moment, I'm proud to be able to say that, like, if I did tomorrow, God forbid, if I did tomorrow, I have done with you, because thank you for doing it with me. So 18 episodes of content that I think can stand on their own and help
strong
people.
Content.
Yeah, man. Really, really happy for that. I'm surprised it hasn't spawned any, I won't say copycats, because unlike regular business people, I don't find that to be a problem. I want people to start podcasts.
More people in the thing.
Yeah, man. I'd love if there's another stock podcast. I'm surprised that the Forex guys haven't tried to do one yet. Or maybe they have.
If you want a podcast. All right, so podcasts are hard. So you know where to go. Jamaica Podcast Network, link bam, and you're fine. Trust me, he has everything here
Yeah.
for a podcast from Genesis to ending. You push it out, everything is fine. you're in good
and
hands.
everything in between. Yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to the Jamaica Podcast Network and BAM for setting that up for the people interested. I'm surprised there aren't more. I want people to the podcast. I want the content. I want people who feel like
there's actual interest. I just know there's a lot of people that don't know where to start.
Yeah, and so I
guess
think
what?
BAM helps with that.
Start with BAM.
Yeah.
Start end with BAM. Yeah, heal everything for you.
You make me sound like an ad. Well, if we're doing ads, I should do this one. I started it and I stopped.
Yeah.
Because I'm thankful for the people, but also the people that I'm able to directly help at the Grow events. I say I burnt out, so I don't think I do anything for December. But what I am doing, I guess you hear it here first, because I haven't even said it to my mailing list people, that I'm doing a gift certificate. So it's not for the Christmas, not for the Christmas period, it's for anything. You buy it during the Christmas period if you want. You can keep it for yourself, or it can be a gift. There's no class during December, but I'm aiming to do classes monthly every month in 2020. So if you know we're going to be broke for the 6 months of January, come January 2020.
So hopefully you earn some money in that 6 months.
But if you have some money in December, you get your Christmas bonus or whatever, you can go to everymickle.com/store and you'll see the gift certificates.
Yeah.
You can buy it and it can be used at any point next year. Yeah, so whenever you're on the mailing list, because if you buy it, you get on the mailing list. Once you buy it, you're automatically on the mailing list. You will be told when the classes are, and if you want, and you just get your code. If you want to use it in January, to sort out the year properly. You know, if you say you're taking my money serious this year,
God, it's January too long and too.
There we go. If somebody want to give somebody a certificate for their class, but say, yo, 2020, 2020, you want to learn your thing, here's a gift, yo, boyfriend, girlfriend, partner gifts, you want to do a class next year where we can both get our money, right? Buy the gift certificate now. Whenever you have the time next year, you can do it. If you can do it when you're broke in January, it's a good time. If you want to wait till February, March, April, whatever, once the class is coming out, you'll be able to do it. Pay for it and you'll be on. So that's an ad for me, for myself, please. So thank you for that. I'm happy for everybody.
No, that's for me, guys.
Big up Danai nonetheless. If you guys did that, maybe I can pay my co-host. So he's been thankful. I'm thankful for having a good co-host for the year so far. I've been thankful. Thanksgiving episode. R&D. Yeah, I'm not going to say thank you, Bam, for facilitating something like this. That doesn't mean it's our last episode for the year, guys. You're going to get a whole heap more. We're going to keep them. We're trying to keep it weekly. We're trying to keep the content good, and we hope you've been liking the content. For the people who have said, yo, let's do an episode, I don't joke with that stuff. So if I've said it, I mean it. If I haven't contacted you, it's because of my own schedule and my own hang-ups with time.
It's coming.
It is coming. Look out for that email, look out for that DM, look out for that phone call. Thank you to the people who have been on it so far already.
Definitely.
And there'll be more coming. Thank you again to the people who have been listening. So thank you very, very much. I hope we've made a difference in your life. And if not, feel free to give us that feedback. Feel free to sign up for my mailing list on everymickle.com. Feel free to let us know how you feel on Twitter. Follow the account for this podcast on Twitter. I've not told people that yet. At earnings_season.
So Twitter updates are from the earnings season Twitter page.
Yes.
Are faster than updates you get from me and Randy.
There we go.
So we usually are quoting that tweet.
Exactly, usually. So follow that if you want to get the latest on it. Follow Danai over there.
Get the podcast app and you'll get it.
Podcast app is the best thing. Trust me, guys. I use Google Podcasts, and I know Apple people use Apple Podcasts because Apple Podcasts is actually the biggest listeners store. Or I think people who have Apple devices are the biggest listeners to our podcast. Yeah. So thank you again, guys. Hope it's been good. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm Randy at RTRO on Twitter.
And I'm Danai at HDanai on Twitter.
This has been earnings season. Thank you.
All right, guys. Big up. Make some money.
Yeah, there we go.